Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the New Hampshire International Speedway. The lineup is set as it was back on Mother's Day weekend. The NASCAR Busch Series set to go racing here today in the Stanley 200. But how about last weekend? If you were with us in Milwaukee, you saw a very special day for young Roy Buckshot Jones. He's now a one-time winner. Last week's finish in Milwaukee was one of the most exciting that the NASCAR Busch Series has ever seen. Buckshot Jones' first career win made him the 9th different Busch Series driver to visit victory lane in just 15 1996 races.
And I'm standing beside of Buckshot here. He's all buckled up, ready to go. And Buckshot, I just wonder, last week when I talked to you in victory lane, you seemed a little shocked by the whole thing. Has the reality of it hit you yet?
Yes, sir. It hit us there earlier this week, and we got our feet back on the ground, and hopefully we'll be able to put on a good show here at Loudon today.
Well, you're starting in the same spot you started last week, way back in the field in 32nd. Can you expect the same results today?
I hope so. The car's running pretty good. We're just going to stay here, ride. We're going to try and follow Joe Nemenchek here and Kenny Wallace, and hopefully they'll help us get up through the pack.
Well, I'm telling you, folks, he knows how to get to the front from the back. He proved that last week at Milwaukee. Loudon is a very similar type racetrack. The point standings were shaken up a little bit by last week's finish. Let's take a look at points.
Last week in Milwaukee, a late race accident caused David Green's 188-point lead to go up in flames. With a 32nd place finish, he begins today's race just 90 points ahead of Randy LaJoie.
Not only did his points lead go up in flames, so to speak, but his race car as well, a brand new race car for our pole sitter and points leader, David Green. You got a chance to shake it down in Indianapolis, but this is his first race. How's it going to do for you today?
So far, so good, Randy. We had a great practice at IRP and a great practice here at Loudon. So this is the same kind of car we had. Billy Hess built us 2 great cars, and we're really excited about today.
Okay, we expect David Green, not only is he going to be on the pole today, but we expect him to be up front all day long. He's the points leader. Now let's go topside to the guy that's going to call the action today, Eli Gold. Eli.
Randy, thank you. Darrell Waltrip, good to have you with us. David Green's point lead cut in half. Is it too early as we begin the second half of the season for him to be worrying about championship?
Eli, it's been my experience that teams that win championships, they think championship from January the 1st until November the 15th, the last race that they would run. They look at their equipment and they look at their talent pool. They look at everything they've got and they consider where they can win and where they just need to ride. I'm sure that this is a track David Green thinks he can win at and add to that point lead. 90 points is still a pretty big lead right now in this point of the season.
And how about this racetrack, Buddy Baker? You heard Buckshot Jones say, I like the comparisons. Is this really like a Milwaukee?
Well, it's very similar. The flat corners, 150 miles an hour down the straightaway, very much just like Milwaukee. But now in the corners, handling is a little more critical here than I think the new surface last week was. So what we have right now is a very fast racetrack that you run almost like a short track. You use a lot of brake getting in the corner. There is some sealer in the corners. It's going to be a great race.
Well, we're glad you're able to join us on this Friday morning here in Loudon, New Hampshire. As soon as we come back, a look at the starting lineup, then the NASCAR Busch Series going racing in the Stanley 200. It's all next, coming up on TNN Motorsports.
They've trained. They've sweated. They've prepared for this moment. And this summer, they'll have a chance to prove themselves to the world. The people of Texaco are proud to supply Clean System 3 gasoline and Haviland Formula 3 motor oil to the thousands of official vehicles in the 1996 Atlanta Olympic Games. Because getting the athletes to the events is quite an event in itself.
There's no track in the world that's tougher on brakes than the one in Martinsville, Virginia. And when drivers take the green flag here, they all have one thing in common, the same brand of brakes. Because without them, you can't come down this straightaway at 120 miles an hour and still make it through the turn. So which brand do the top drivers use to get them through 500 laps at Martinsville? Performance Friction Carbon Metallic. And we stock them at AutoZone.
When asked, 9 out of 10 people say they'd rather be on vacation than at home.
Come on.
Board.
You have to
practice. I have to practice. Mom, she's a train professional. Do not throw the ducks.
Of course, most of the people they asked didn't own a John Deere, because in survey after survey, folks are more satisfied with John Deere than other lawn tractors.
Honey, it's green.
It sure is. Nothing runs like a deer.
In the Stanley laboratories, we find out just how good our decorative mirror doors are by opening and closing them over 100,000 times. Funny, isn't that the same way you do it? Decorative mirror doors from Stanley.
I'm the king grill.
Oh, yeah?
Baby, you know who's boss. Give me a 2-inch thick T-bone with spicy, hanging, Heinz 57 steak sauce.
Yeah, you're cooking now.
Let's eat.
Today's exclusive coverage of the Stanley 200 on TNN is brought to you by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Controls volatility and fights vaporization. By the more than 1,250 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. By John Deere, makers of quality lawn and grounds care equipment. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Welcome back, everybody. As the field begins to roll off the pit lane here at New Hampshire International Speedway, let's take a look at the starting lineup for you. And again, these teams are lined up according to the way the point standings were back on May the 11th, the original scheduled start of this event. David Green, Randy LaJoie sharing the front row. You've got Curtis Markham, formerly with the Busch North Series. He knows this track well. And Phil Parsons. Todd Bodine and Glenn Allen share row number 3. Allen is an ASA and BGN star. Jeff Purvis did not get any practice here yesterday. He was late arriving at the track, along with Bobby Labonte. Larry Pearson and Bill Engel, that's the crew chief for the Cartoon Network team, spun out in practice yesterday. Terry Labonte and Chad Little, who won the event here at New Hampshire a year ago. Jason Keller and Jeff Green. Green was up here testing back in April, preparing for the original date of this event. Bobby Dotter loves this racetrack, and Rodney Combs. Hermie Sadler was on the pole at Milwaukee, and the man who nearly won the race a weekend ago, Dick Trickle. Joe Bessie, his New England ties make him a favorite here, and Mike McLaughlin, he has started all of the 9 previous Busch events here at New Hampshire. Mike Wallace with 3 Busch Series wins to his credit, and Mike Dillon alongside of him. Tim Fedua and Patty Moise, okay after injuries from earlier this year. Jeff Fuller, he has won here in both the Busch and the Modified Tours. Jim Bound joining him. Kenny Wallace is here with 7 Busch Series wins, and Kevin LePage, only twice has he run here, even though he is a New Englander. You've got Greg Clark and Buckshot Jones. Joe Nemechek is in the field, and of course, veteran Tommy Houston. Bill Huff gets a start, replacing Jerry Nadeau, who was originally in the field. Mike Laughlin. Mike Cope with his Busch Series debut, and New York's Doug Hevron. Further back in the field, Dennis Setzer, Randy Porter, Hermie's younger brother, Elliott Sadler, Shane Hall for the NASCAR Slim Jim All-Pro Series, and the man who was to have started shotgun on the field, Nathan Butke, not returning to run the race here after using up his race car 1 weekend ago in Milwaukee. Taking a look now at the AutoZone race analysis, brought to you by the more than 1,350 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And there you see the numbers, and notice 200 laps is 211.6 miles. This track actually measures 1.058 miles around. To give you a better view of this racetrack, we'll be riding along with the Channel Lock team today. There's Phil Parsons, has a good qualifying effort starting up front. He'll be showing us a number of different views of this basically flat racetrack. We've got the roof camera there, then looking back out behind the Channel Lock machine. Darrell Waltrip, this racetrack, as we said, basically flat. You told me it wasn't unlike Indianapolis. Other guys say it's like Martinsville. Some say it's like Richmond. Was it a little bit of everything?
It seems to be. It's one of those kind of racetracks where you got to have good straightaway speed, but you got to have a good handling car here too. You got to be able to turn through the middle of the corner, accelerate hard on the throttle off the corner, and not push out toward the wall. That's what guys really struggle with here, is a tight condition, the front end wanting to push with them. So we're coming around here to get one to go, and this ought to be a great race, particularly the opening laps here, because the track does have a little sealer on it. Limited amount of practice, should be fun.
Getting set to go green here this morning, and it's strange to say this morning, the honorary starter, Troy England. He is a former head injury patient at the Connecticut Children's Hospital who is being honored here today. He will show the green flag to the field and up through the gearbox. Here we go, the first of 200 laps.
You'll see most guys fight real hard to get down on the inside here, Eli, just about like they did last week. They don't want to get hung up on that outside. You lose a lot of positions.
Randy LaJoy getting a little bit sideways off turn 2 there. That's early in the race here. You have a little bit of dust on the groove itself. They'll settle that out here in just a second.
Yeah, and right now the spotters are just trying, like I said, to get everybody in line. Billy Engel in the 29 car is hung up on the outside, and he's going straight to the back.
Off the corner to the start-finish line. David Green shows the way in the cat colors. Randy LaJoy is second. Phil Parsons, who carries our cameras, he's running in the third spot now. Curtis Markham is right behind Phil Parsons. And remember, too, that Curtis Markham knows this track well. He used to run for Quint Volvaire. There you can see some good 2 and some 3 wide battling into the corner.
I continue to watch Billy Engel because, you know, he doesn't race a whole lot. He's a crew chief on the 29 car, and I continue to watch him, and he's really doing a pretty good job, actually.
We talked about 3 wide racing. Everybody using some smarts. Dick Trickle giving some room. That's Kenny Wallace in the 8. Joe Nemechek alongside Kenny in the 87 right now.
Right now, everybody's, you know, kind of mid-pack is trying to figure out, can I run the outside? Can I go by a guy on the outside? So the front cars are already single file. They're going to stay that way pretty much. But these guys back in the pack that are trying to move up are really testing the track right now.
Trying to pull away just a bit, though Phil Parsons in third stays right with him. They've got Bobby Labonte in the 44, then Todd Bodine in the 81, Chad Little the 23 right behind them.
Oh, there's a car up against the wall, turn 3. I think it's Phil Parsons.
And we have no caution flag yet.
See, that's the thing about this racetrack. It is so wide and the groove is so big here that a car can spin unless he stalls, he can take off and get going and no caution.
That's it, no yellow, but now it's coming out because Phil is leaving some debris behind him. As he pulled away, he left some debris off the rear deck of the automobile, so the first caution of the day comes out on lap number 5 for these leaders as Phil Parsons finds himself in the wall in turn number 3. Well, we appreciate your joining us. If you're at home and called in sick to watch the race, thanks a lot.
To protect your engine, remember, pure oil now, pure oil later.
Pure oil later.
I own an auto repair center. And when it comes to helping people make good decisions about their cars, I recommend All Pro and bumper-to-bumper auto parts. Look, cars don't break down on schedule. When I need quality parts, All Pro and bumper-to-bumper come through with expert service, a great selection, competitive prices, and convenient hours. I depend on All Pro and bumper-to-bumper because my customers depend on me. So when you need an auto parts specialist, whether it's in my garage or yours, shop where I shop. All Pro and bumper-to-bumper auto parts.
Well, I'm 51 years old. I want to be 52, 53, so forth and so on.
Welcome to Ann Arbor, Michigan. Many smokers who are ready to quit are trying new Nicotrol, the simple one-step patch that can help control your urge to smoke so you can increase your chance of success in just 6 weeks. Over the next few weeks, we're going to show you how some of them do.
I really want to quit smoking cigarettes.
If you're ready to quit, Nicotrol is coming to your store July 18. 6 weeks, 1 step. Take control with Nicotrol.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Chocolate crispy taste of fun. To make your day. That's why wherever you go, hear the people say, give me a break. Give me a break.
Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
All right, yeah.
We are live on TNN on this Friday morning from Loudon, New Hampshire, and there you see the Cliff Champion and the boys working on that machine. Here's what happened from Phil Parsons' own view. Looked like something broke on him, didn't it?
I think
it's tough to tell.
I think he broke and someone else didn't is what happened. Something did break, though.
Yeah.
No, I think he got a little tap from the rear. It looked like when you see the car kind of take a quick move like it did to the right, it's probably may have gotten a little contact from the rear. They're fighting so hard to get down on the inside, so I think that's probably what happened.
Glenn, it looks fairly extensive.
Yeah, Eli, it is. They're working up underneath the deck lid right now. It's bent to frame. It's got the fuel cell all jammed up. The thing that I see, though, it appears that it has also shoved the rear end housing forward because the left rear tire is almost up against the cutout for the fender right under the channel lock word. So I'm pretty sure it's moved the left rear on the thing, too. So he's got major problems. They may get him going. He will not go fast.
And that's too bad because, you know, Phil's been doing a good job this year. He's been consistent. He's been high in the point standings all year long. And that team has really done well. And the last couple of weeks have not been very kind to him.
No, they have not been kind at all. Phil being shown 5th right now in the NASCAR Busch Series point standings. Getting set to go back to green. 200 laps make up the total distance today. We restarted lap number 9. On the move now, Jeff Purvis and Chad Little didn't get a particularly good jump there. You see him? He's in that green and yellow machine. The John Deere colors can't get to the low side of the racetrack.
No, he's working that outside groove, and I don't think it's there right now.
Up front, here goes Randy LaJoy. Lap number 9. He'll go into the lead in turn number 3.
Boy, that's what you want to see right now is to get out front and not have to worry about any traffic and run that bottom groove and pull away from the rest of them.
Off they go into the corner. Meanwhile, you see Chad Little has gotten into the 8th spot now, ahead of 9th place number 3 machine. That's Jeff Green as we look out from behind Chad's car.
You know, Birdie's probably worked real hard on that car to make it run good here.
Hey, you don't say that up here because that's how everybody talks up here.
That's right.
That's Bobby Labonte about 5th back in line. We saw him sneaking a peek to the inside.
Yeah, he's made a pretty good little move. He started pretty far back, 10th, I think, and there he is up to top 5.
Well, Chad Little now beginning to climb up to the front, buddy, one by one, got around Purvis.
Yeah, he took a look on the inside there, but he used a good theory there. If you don't get up to that door panel there, right behind the number on the door, you don't need to be there because if you touch the guy going in the corner, he's out of here.
Now, Chad started in 12th. That's the number 23 machine we're watching. He's inside of Todd Bodine now, and he'll move up even closer to the front in a 6th position.
Well, he's in a bad spot right now. You see Jeff Purvis in the 4 moving in just behind Chad Little here as they go into turn 1. Watch him drop back as they start through this corner.
But I tell you, this is the best I've seen Chad. And I know we've only run 10 laps, but this is the best that car has looked this year, I think.
Of course, he won here last year in this event, too. So
well, he won a lot of places last year, but boy, they have struggled. And I tell you, that's a good team, and they've just had a hard time adjusting to that Pontiac.
Right, he has, a couple of 8th place finishes this year. The best that Chad has been able to record, and we talk about a turnaround from a season to the next.
Yeah, well, and also, you know, you're looking at the second half, and maybe they figure things out, and they'll be better in the second half. Got a car smoking as he comes through the infield there.
Right, through turns 3 and 4.
That's Phil Hoff.
Right, he has got some problems. Phil Parsons is back on pit lane again. He is 5 laps down and will go even further down. The 57, that's Jason Keller getting inside of Todd Bodine. Terry Labonte tries to do so as well. And again, if you can't protect the inside flank, buddy, you got yourself a handful.
I'm just looking at Todd. I imagine he says, I can't go all the way to last. He finally gets on the inside again. It's so much quicker down there. You see Terry Labonte trying to move under him there. He's got a loose condition in that 81 car, Todd does. You can see the back end getting a little happy coming out of the corner there.
You know what? His spotter said, hang on there, hang on a minute. Here comes Terry. He'll let you in because Terry will let you in and not jeopardize your position. So that was a good job on Terry's part of letting the 81 car get in line. He's running for points, and Terry knows that.
Randy LaJoy is still the leader. If you're just joining us here in New Hampshire, he took the edge away from David Green on the 8th lap and now shows the way.
That's a new car that Green's driving, Eli. I think you told me earlier. And so, you know, he may be just going through just feeling that car out and seeing how it's going to run, because LaJoie really hadn't pulled away that much.
On the move, Jeff Green. He is in 7th spot as we watch the 63 Curtis Markham in 5th. Chad Little in 6th, trying to grab 5th place away now.
Eli, that was a wreck. It just didn't happen just then. Curtis Markham got completely sideways coming off turn 4 there. I think he might have had just a little bit of help from Chad Little.
Yeah, well, Chad's in a hurry.
He is. Curtis is feeling okay, by the way, after injuring his wrist at Watkins Glen a couple of weeks ago. And there's Jeff Green going by. Remember, he led the most laps in this race a year ago, if memory serves. And he started way back in 14th, Glenn. And here comes Green all the way up to 6th now.
Well, Eli, yesterday in practice, they only ran 6 laps of practice. They were so pleased with the car. In fact, Dale Earnhardt got on headset this morning right before the race and asked crew chief Tony Urey, said, "Okay, guys, how's it going today?" They said, "Well, we only had to run 6 laps of practice yesterday, boss." So they liked it, and obviously it's paying off for them. The car looks good right now.
And they've had 8 top 10 finishes in their last 9 races. So after a bit of a slow start now, Tony Urey and the fellows with driver Jeff Green getting back on gear. Let's go down to pit lane now. An update on Todd Bodine's team as we watch him work his way mid-pack.
Well, Eli, he's already made a decision on his shocks. He doesn't like them. He said they're a little too soft all the way around for the tire that we're running. And it's amazing that you can come here and practice, although they didn't get a lot of laps. He doesn't like the shock setup, and you're pretty much stuck with those. The car is tight. So the question I pose, Darrell, is if it's tight at the beginning, will it loosen up for him here on this flat track?
Usually not. This racetrack is kind of what you see is what you get. If you start off pushing, it just gets worse. And that's a fear that a driver has here. You miss the setup here and you're too tight and you can't run a lick because you can't stay on the bottom.
We are 18 laps into this 200-lap affair here at the New Hampshire International Speedway. Just the beginning of a busy, busy racing weekend here on TNN Motorsports.
In the Stanley laboratories, we find out just how good our decorative mirror doors are by opening and closing them over 100,000 times. Funny, isn't that the same way you do it? Decorative mirror doors from Stanley.
When you build a country by hand, you're going to get a little dirty doing it. And for 100 years, America's dirtiest hands have been coming clean with lava. Pumice-powered lava, cleaning the hands that make America strong.
Where does Napa keep over 200,000 different parts? Right up here. Now remember, your belt tension on this is critical. What kind of car is it? Well, I'll sell you all the struts you want, but I wouldn't recommend putting them in without the right tools. I'm sure we have it. Okay, is it a 77 or a 78? Because they changed the carburetor in 78. Actually, that's not a stupid question at all. I know what it used to be. You don't stay at Napa long handing out the wrong answers, and I'm not planning on going anywhere.
Keep America running.
Today's exclusive coverage of the Stanley 200 on TNN is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. At Napa, we keep America running.
From high above the New Hampshire International Speedway on a beautiful, beautiful day here. The hood blimp overhead showing us these fine pictures. And there you see, still in the early stages, 179 laps to go. With Darrell Waltrip and Buddy Baker, Glenn Jarrett and Randy Pemberton, I'm Eli Gold. Curtis Markham in the 63. The 57, that's Jason Keller as they work 7th and 8th right now. Bill Parsons finally calling it a day. He's taken the channel lock machine behind the wall and to the garage area. We work just 22 laps in. No change up front if you're just joining us as Randy LaJoie continues to show the way over David Green. It is a 7/10 of a second advantage with 3rd place now going to Glenn Allen. Bobby Labonte is 4th and old Chad Little up to 5th as we look at that ongoing 5th place battle or the 6th place battle now. Markham likes this track, and that's got to mean something.
Yeah, it does. You think the cars that are running good right now, Eli, have run good here in the past. You take the 3 car, for instance. Dale Earnhardt almost won this race one year racing Nemechek.
What a great race that was.
That was a great race. That car always run well here. The 74 car, LaJoie's cars, always run well here. The cars that are running in the front right now are, and Chad Little, these are guys that have run here good in the past. They've got the notebook. They've got the experience. They know what to do to set up for this racetrack with a limited amount of practice.
see Jason Keller there in the 57 trying to get by Curtis Markham down the front straightaway. Jason Keller seems to be very, very quick through the corners. You watch him go in here, he's just a rocket ship through the middle part of the corner.
Now, remember last year, Keller in the 57, last year he was running in the top 10 with less than 10 laps to go and ran out of fuel. And that sent him all the way back. So the fact that Jason's in the top 10 here shouldn't really be a surprise. He did it last season also.
You know, this year has been a little disappointing for him, I'm sure, because last year he showed a lot of promise as a driver and as a team owner. And they've struggled a little bit this year. It'd be nice to see him get up here and have a good finish today. This is kind of like a racetrack that he enjoys running on.
25 laps complete, just over 26 miles. Again, this track measures 1.058 miles around. The turns are banked 12 degrees, but you really don't use any of that banking. The groove is on the low, flat side of the corner. And the straightaways here are totally flat, 3 degrees of banking and 1,500 feet long.
As a matter of fact, Eli, getting into turn 1 and turn 3, you'll actually put the left wheels on the apron and let the car actually slide up into the groove. That's how low you want to be on this racetrack.
That's the lead we're looking at right there. And now third place, Glenn Allen. He's having himself a fine run. And, buddy, you know, he had never even seen this track. He showed up here for the Busch North race back in April. It was snowed out. He came here in May for this race. It was rained out. So this is really his first competitive laps on the racetrack.
Great run right now. You see him actually pulling in on David Green, who's running second there in the 95. And that's a pretty good race car driver behind him there, Bobby Labonte, and he hadn't gained an inch on him in the last 15 laps.
Now looking at 5th place and 6th place. Chad Little, we ride with him in 5th. Jeff Green behind him in 6th. And Glenn, I'll tell you, Chad's having himself a strong run right now, being patient.
Well, absolutely. You know, and I think one of the things that's helped Chad particularly in this race, is the fact that he started so far up due to points. He's had trouble qualifying, has been mired in the back of the pack, been getting caught up in accidents and wrecks and getting caught in traffic and getting behind early. And now he's got some clear racetrack ahead of him. And I think this is one of the first times this year that they've really had a chance to show what they can do with that Pontiac.
I agree, Glenn. I think that's a good observation. You know, that was his Achilles heel last year. The times that he got crashed and knocked out of races last year was from poor qualifying efforts, starting way in the pack. And he's an aggressive driver and usually not very patient, and he would try to run up through the field in a hurry and get himself in trouble. Today, as Glenn has pointed out, and it's a good observation, he's up in the front, he's staying there.
Bill Hoff is done for the day, the second car to the garage area. He had engine failure. That has put him out for the morning. He was driving the car that Jerry Nadeau had qualified here in May, but Jerry also does some Formula Road racing over in Europe, and that's where he is this weekend. He couldn't come back for the start, so they put Bill Hoff, who is a Busch North Series driver, into the car, but now they're in the garage as we still watch a good 5th place battle.
It really is, and Jeff is getting a little bit impatient. He's got that nose right up there where it can make you nervous.
Darryl, a lot of people don't realize on a mile racetrack like this with the long straightaways, you actually have a draft here, just like a long time ago, 150 miles an hour at Daytona. The draft was a little more persistent off the car than it is now. The more speed you get, like 200 miles an hour, the car streamlines itself, and the draft is not as profound as it is right at the moment. You can see Jeff Green come off the corner and just tuck right up behind him. There is a draft here, just like they used to have at Daytona.
Yeah, well, the car, see, you run so much spoiler here, buddy. You got like 65, 70 degrees of spoiler, and that's making a big hole for that car in the back there to suck right up behind you. So that's where you get some of the drafting effect from, why it's so effective here.
Randy LaJoie continues to lead. David Green is second. He is a 1.5 seconds behind as Steve Grissom looks on, saying, man, I wish I was out there. But he does. We're coming right back.
If you're trying to keep cool with Central Air over 10 years old, you must have money to blow. Thought so. A new Luxair high-performance Central Air or heat pump system could reduce your energy cost and save you money.
Cool by Luxair.
Dependable, affordable comfort comes from Luxair.
Can we come inside? We're cool. Mom.
Call your Luxair dealer and catch the NASCAR 99 Luxair Chevy in all the Busch Grand National Series races.
I can't believe I'm losing my hair back here.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, right.
Look, if you want to regrow some hair, check this out.
Rogaine? Don't you need a prescription?
Not anymore.
How's it work? Rogaine goes to the root of your hair and for some people gets it to grow.
What have you got to lose?
Nothing, I guess, except more hair.
That's been easy to use.
And it's starting to work.
See, there's room for growth in every relationship.
Rogaine, medically proven to regrow hair.
It's back-to-back racing from New Hampshire. First, NASCAR's ground pounders battle for modified prize. Then, the Busch North boys fire it up and get nasty. The Pennzoil 150/40, Saturday, 1 p.m., noon Central on TNN Motorsports.
The votes are in, and it's a landslide. The American president is a winner on pay-per-view. Don't stop. It sounds great. Heartwarming, very smart, and very funny. The president can't just go out on a date. One terrific pleasure.
Do you do this often, sir?
The perfect movie. President's got a girlfriend. Michael Douglas and Annette Bening prove politics make for interesting bedfellows.
I'm speechless.
Cast your vote for The American President at home on pay-per-view.
Hey, mister. Hey, mister. Hey, mister, could we have a turn?
No. Come discover Explorashore, the interactive water wonderland. New at the Florida Aquarium.
Have to share.
Discount coupons available at Publix.
We are live at the New Hampshire International Speedway, and you can also be live online right now. The folks from NASCAR Online are here in the Infield Media Center, and you just have to dial up on your computer, www.nascar.com, and you'll get NASCAR Online. Scoring news, all the latest updates right from the racetrack. That's NASCAR Online. So many folks are logging on. Why don't you do so also? It's a whole lot of fun.
I noticed also over on the Turn 3 wall here at the Speedway, they've got their
right, their address.
Address over there on the wall.
Right, it says, you know where in the old days it used to say, you know, New Hampshire,
yeah,
USA? Right. Here on the wall it says www.NHIS, New Hampshire International Speedway.com.
Yep.
Everybody's on the information superhighway.
You got it.
We're 39 laps in to this 200-lap Stanley 200. There is the Stanley car. Larry Pearson just ahead of Hermie Sadler right now as they battle in 13th and 14th spot. And there's Chad Little again holding Jeff Green back if he can. I don't believe so.
That was a drop
I think his foot slipped off the brake.
Yeah.
That's what happened, yeah.
That'll be 5th place now for Jeff Green over Chad Little in 6th.
Well, you know, Chad is, I won't say holding him up, but he certainly was in his way. And that wasn't really all that bad a move.
You know, Darrell, just a second ago we were talking about how fast Chad Little was running, but Jeff Green has worked his way up through the field and very fast. See him going in the corner here?
Yeah.
Now, Chad comes over, he checks up just a little. That's not much of a touch at all, I tell you.
No, it's not. It's just enough to let you know, hey, I'm faster than you are. How about give me a little room and let me go on? And, you know, both of them were, I think both of them were aware that was going to happen.
Now we're riding with Jeff Purvis, Joe Bessie, then Kenny Wallace in the 8th. Those machines are 14th, 15th, 16th, and on back. Again, Purvis, he wanted to practice here. The Busch teams had a practice session yesterday for about an hour and a half, around 4 in the afternoon, and Jeff just wasn't able to get here in time. He was flying in with Bobby Hamilton, who had departed from Nashville, and they encountered some weather and a little headwinds. Next thing you know, they got here and practice was done. Of course, the way Purvis is running right now, maybe didn't need any practice time.
There's Kenny Wallace also. Somebody told me, I think Glenn may have said that he was one of the quickest cars in practice yesterday, and he's moving up nicely, too.
You know, Darrell, right now, there's probably cars back in the pack right now that are fast enough. If they were up front, the track position was good, they could run with the lead cars. But right now, it's so difficult to get that position to make a pass that some of these cars right here could probably give anybody up front a good run for it right now, but they're log jammed back here with a big crowd around them.
So many times, buddy, over and over and over again, you hear about track position. Just bad track position. Don't want to lose my track position. It's because it is so difficult. Everybody's hard driving, got good race cars. It's so difficult to make a pass.
The brothers Wallace, 16th and 17th spot. We were looking at those cars moments ago. There goes Mike Wallace in the 90 around Kenny. Chad Little now jousting with Todd Bodine. Chad's the 23, Todd the 81. That's 6th and 7th.
See, now, what's happened to Todd Bodine? He dropped back for a little while now. He's adjusted his driving style, and that car's starting to work a lot better now. He's giving Chad Little a run for his money going into turn 3.
See, what he complained about his shocks, but he needs to give the track and everything a chance to come in, because he might be able to move up a little bit, or the car might change just enough that the car will come to him, and then he can go forward.
Folks, at this time of the day, obviously, the temperature is obviously changing significantly. It's morning. I mean, not like a 1 o'clock or a 2 o'clock race where you're basically where you're going to be all day. I mean, we're seeing a major change in this 2.5 hour stretch.
Eli, that's exactly right. What's happening now, the temperatures are getting closer to what they were yesterday when they were working on the cars near the afternoon.
Mike Wallace on the move again as he gets around Jeff Purvis. Mike Wallace, by the way, is going to be running tomorrow in the NASCAR Busch North Series race. He said, heck, I'm here. You know, might as well go racing, especially while things are a little soft in Winston Cup for him.
Yeah, and there's a lot of talent right there, and I always I keep an eye on Mike, because he's a good young driver, and he comes from a good line, obviously, and I hope something breaks for him soon.
It's going to be interesting now that the dominoes are starting to fall in NASCAR Winston Cup for next year.
Somebody was asking me, Eli, said, are you looking at anybody? I said, well, my list is getting longer every week now.
Now riding with Dick Trickle, looking back towards Jeff Fuller. That is 19th and 20th. Trickle's in 19th. Fuller is in 20th. Up front, Randy LaJoie is still leading. We're not ignoring him. It's just that he's got himself a 2 7/10 second advantage right now in what is the 7th different race that he has led this year. There is Randy LaJoie. He has not had great success here in New Hampshire. He has finished 28th, 44th, 19th. That doesn't mean a hill of beans today, though. He's leading right now, 48 laps into the 200.
To get the most out of this Indy car, Patrick Racing put Scott Pruitt behind the wheel. They built a team that could get it in and out of the pits in the blink of an eye. And they chose a battery they can depend on to get it started. The Duralast battery from AutoZone. The same Duralast you can depend on to start your car. So don't settle for anything less. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
Smelly sneakers? Smelly feet? What you need is Odor Eater's Foot and Sneaker Spray. The only spray with Arm & Hammer baking soda to neutralize sweaty foot acid that causes odor. These can't. Odor Eater's Foot and Sneaker Spray.
It's back-to-back racing from New Hampshire. First, NASCAR's Ground Pounders battle for modified pride. Then, the Busch North boys fire it up and get nasty. The Pennzoil 150/40, Saturday, 1 p.m., noon Central on TNN Motorsports.
It set the standard in do-it-yourself books. But now, we've made the best even better. Introducing the all-new Home Repair and Improvement series from Time Life Books. With new color illustrations, step-by-step instructions, and a new spiral binding so books lay flat. It's never been easier to save money and create the home you've always wanted. You'll learn how to build a deck your family will enjoy for years. The tricks of the trade to install a new patio. Call now to examine decks, porches, and patios, free for 15 days. Keep it for the special low TV price of just $1.99. Use your credit card and get this Stanley tape measure absolutely free. Other volumes will follow. Keep only those you want. The new Home Repair and Improvement series from Time Life Books. We've made the best even better.
Call 1-800-718-5959 now to get decks, porches, and patios for just $1.99. That's 1-800-718-5959.
Highway transportation provided by Cedar Ridge RV Center, Branchville, New Jersey, featuring Winnebago Motorhomes. Call 1-800-988-4884 and find out why Winnebago is the choice of champions. Commercial transportation for this broadcast has been provided by Ryder, the official transportation company for Opryland. Welcome back, everybody. That is second, third, fourth, and fifth spot right now. 3 seconds behind race leader Randy LaJoie. It's Bobby Labonte in the 44 inside of Glenn Allen. Jeff Green is in the 3. Todd Bodine, the 81, and Allen just didn't have the inside.
No, try as you may. You just got to let them go and then fall in line when there's an opening.
Todd Bodine is really on a mission right now. He run this group of cars down from about 20 car lengths back. Whatever he didn't like is really working for him right now, I'll tell you.
I'm glad the crew didn't overreact, aren't you?
Yeah.
But interestingly, the speeds, Todd is right now getting around this racetrack about 4/10 quicker per lap than is Randy LaJoie.
You can see he's running a wider line in the center part of the corner. He's doing what it takes to make that car fast, not just following the leader.
Well, the track, I believe too, buddy, the track will change enough, that groove will move out enough that if he was tight, that he'll be able to arch that thing, you know, get a little, get high in the middle of the corner and then arch it down off the corner and really make good time around here.
Well, Darrell, that's what makes a good race car driver a great race car driver, is being able to adapt to a situation and change his line a little bit and make the car fast no matter how it's handled.
Todd is in 5th. Randy's been down in his pit area. Randy?
Well, you hit that one right on the head because John Fabian, crew chief, just told Todd, you are now faster than the leader. Do not change your line. The track is coming to us. Nice call, Darrell. You hit it right on the money.
That's why we pay you the big bucks there, D.
Oh, yeah, and I haven't got, normally I've been on the track and I know, you know, I got a feel for what's going on, but today it's, man, I'm just having to use all the experience and everything I have to make these calls.
Oh, me.
Buddy, you want to roll up your pants leg there? It's getting a little deep up here.
Only DW.
56 laps are complete.
Hang with me, bud. Hang with me.
56 laps are complete of this one here. It's 3 3/10 seconds, the advantage for Randy LaJoie. He led 14 laps of this race last year before falling back and finishing in 19th. Here today, he has led since lap number 9, so he has led the last 48 circuits around the speedway.
Yeah, and I believe Bobby Labonte is, he's really picked this group up a little bit. He's pulling those guys up through there, and I think he's really the reason why Todd's able to run as fast as he is.
Trying to get around Shane Hall now, that second pack will. That is he in the outside groove.
That'll work as long as he don't try to turn back and get back in the lower groove here, and he stayed up wide. That's very smart on his part.
I tell you one thing, that 81 car is not lacking on motor. He goes down that straightaway. He gets into the corners really, really well with a lot of speed. And LaJoie's up here. He's in a good bit of traffic now, so this is going to give those guys an opportunity to close back in on him because he's going to have to check up a little. See how quick Todd is right through the middle of that corner?
I think that's where he gets the run for the straightaway. He rolls really fast through the center.
Getting through
when
the center well.
When he picks the throttle up, he really gets down the straightaway good.
Randy LaJoie, we talked about the traffic. He's got the 53 machine of Greg Clark to deal with first. This is the 7th race this year that LaJoie has led, and Glenn, he's got himself Patty Moise to get by and a host of others now in the middle stages of the race.
Yeah, and Eli, if we get a chance, if we're not showing it because I don't have a monitor, but Steve Bird, his crew chief sitting on top of the toolbox, is incensed. This is about the 3rd time that he has pleaded with NASCAR to tell him to get this lap traffic out of the way. The 53 car of Greg Clark almost hit LaJoie. Also, the 29 car almost hit him a while ago as he's trying to lap traffic. The groove is right along the bottom, and Randy sneaks up on him so fast, and they cut down on him before they even realize he's there. I guess that's one of the drawbacks having a car working that well. Also, I asked Steve, Randy was real quick last May when we were here. In fact, he was the quickest car in practice when we got washed out. He said the setup pretty much the same under the car as it was then. But I tell you what, it's working. He's just driving away.
As far as Buckshot Jones there, the 00, the 14 Patty Moise. Buckshot is last week's winner in that Aqua Fresh Ford. Couldn't win at Milwaukee. Meanwhile, Jeff Green and Todd Bodine heating up again. That's 4th and 5th spot you're looking at. The 3 and the 81. Bobby Labonte, he's in 3rd spot. There's David Green, the 95. He's in 2nd.
Green, David was able to pull out just a little bit on that group, but that traffic got him caught back up. Oh, there's the 50.
That's Mike Cope.
Oh, okay.
Right, that's the team. That's the, you're saying, oh, that's Jason
I thought Keller is off the pace.
They look alike. That is Cope, who's making his Busch Series debut here today. There goes Todd.
Down right by Jeff Green getting into turn 3.
Rocketed by him.
Yeah, well, Green saw him there, and he knew if he better not cut down at that point. So he checks up and lets him go. Falls in line.
Now second place, working around Greg Clark.
But, Eli, that's a good example of what would have happened if the three hadn't let him by, because you carry so much speed at that point that if the guy in front of you doesn't give you some room, then you can see why you have an accident here. So good spotting on somebody's part and good reaction on the green part.
Meanwhile, back up front, Randy LaJoie continues to show the way. The lead over the last few laps has dropped a bit from 3.3 seconds to 2.7, but nevertheless, it's still comfortable for LaJoie.
How far can you go on $199? Well, come to Pep Boys and you can go 80,000 miles. Because right now, you can get 4 of our 80,000-mile tires for just $199. That's a full set for under $200. Oh, the roads you'll travel, the sights you'll see, the money you'll save. You can even charge them on your Pep Boys credit card. That's $199 for any size, any 4 of our 80,000-mile tires in stock. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
Hey, you're a guy, and guys want to be cool. Hang out with other guys who are cool. But even cool guys sweat. 40% more than women, in fact. So how you gonna stay cool? With something new. Speed Stick Gel. No other gel keeps you drier, so you always feel your coolest. It's unbeatable gel protection, and guys, no matter how cool they are, need all the protection they can get. New Speed Stick Gel. It's just for the guys.
Kyle Petty closing in on Morgan rather.
Oh, we've got to spin the 42 car Kyle Petty.
Kyle is badly damaged in turn 3.
Man, this is one tough toolbox. The name says it all. If it's not better built, it's not.
In the Stanley laboratories, we find out just how good our decorative mirror doors are by opening and closing them over 100,000 times. Funny, isn't that the same way you do it? Decorative mirror doors from Stanley.
I'm the king grill.
Oh, yeah?
Baby, you know who's boss. Give me a 2-inch thick T-bone with spicy, hanging, Heinz 57 steak sauce.
Yeah, you're cooking now.
Let's eat.
It's the wildest racing on the planet. A squadron of Type A personalities in a state-of-the-art fleet of racing machines. You either win or you lose. And these guys hate to lose. Now, the circuit heads north to Loudon and the scenic New Hampshire International Speedway. The NASCAR Winston Cup Jiffy Lube 300, live Sunday at 1, noon Central on TNN Motorsports.
Brought to you by Gladiator and Universal Luxury Vans, the official vans of tracks, teams, and drivers throughout the NASCAR world. Call 1-800-445-2825 for a dealer near you.
Welcome back, everybody, live at New Hampshire International Speedway. You've got the 23 Chad Little, 55 Bobby Dotter, the 5 Terry Labonte. That's 7th, 8th, and 9th. And how about old Bobby Dotter? You know, here's a guy with 2 top 5s and 4 top 10s in the 9 starts here. He had a 2nd place finish, a 3rd place finish. Very quietly, that man who's right behind Chad Little, Glenn, has become a major factor here.
Absolutely, Eli, and he desperately needs a good run. He had a good car last week at Milwaukee, but had some problems early in the race. Got a couple laps down, got one of them back, but he's got loop tech on the side of the car. That's his old ASA sponsorship. They helped him out last weekend. He is just about out of money. He told me last week in Milwaukee, if he didn't have a good run and didn't get some help after Loudon, he did not know when he would get to race again. So let's hope Bobby has a good day. And somebody out there, he's a great driver. He can do a good job for you. Needs a little help.
Really does. Only had one top 10 finish this year. It came at Nashville. He finished 17th a weekend ago in Milwaukee. That's 2nd place right now. It's fallen back about 3.5 seconds behind the leader, Randy LaJoie. And Randy, I guess while LaJoie is seeing this in his rearview mirror, he's tickled. He's saying, go ahead, fellas, battle on.
No question about it. LaJoie in heavy traffic, but David Green looking in his mirror at Todd Bodine. The car has been a little loose as Todd tries him on the outside and the inside. If you can believe this, they're going to stretch these tires to lap 110, says crew chief Kirk Shelmerdine in the 95 pit. There are a lot of other guys that are begging for a caution right now. They'd like to get some fresh rubber on, and more significantly than that, make some adjustments to make these cars go a little bit better through the corner.
7th place, Bobby Dotter get the spot. 8th now goes to the 5, Terry Labonte. Meanwhile, the 81 has gotten around the 95, so put Todd Bodine in 2nd, with David Green now in 3rd. And now let's see if he can chase down the race leader. The interval now just 2.06 seconds because LaJoie's been in traffic.
Boy, we got a whole gaggle of cars off of turn 4 over here, or turn 2 over here. I'm sorry, buddy. The 29 car almost caused a high-speed roadblock here.
Yeah, man. Well, Todd Bodine now cleared traffic, Eli. You're going to see him run LaJoie down, I think. I really believe he's much quicker. As I'm speaking, I see he's closed in 7-8 car lengths, and LaJoie's hung up in some lap over traffic right now. So we're going to have it tighten up for the lead right now.
Yeah, it's gone down to 1.5 seconds now, just in the span of that last mile and change.
LaJoie he's setting up, man, he's got to sit there and be calm and cool because there's some heavy racing in front of him right now.
There's LaJoie in traffic, the 74. He's going to have to pick his way through that pack of traffic and try and do so carefully. Randy Porter is that green and yellow machine there along with him. He'll work in and around Rodney Combs' machine. He's got the 75 of Doug Hevron. This is where a leader has to hold his breath, Glenn Jarrett.
There's the 81 right there coming right in behind him.
And he just moved by some of that traffic. Rodney Combs and Todd Bodine moves up behind Rodney. From what I can see right here, guys, and I'm down toward the turns 1 and 2 area, Todd is really quick coming off the corner. He's making up a lot of ground right there. Randy was talking about pit stop windows. Steve Bird, LaJoie's crew chief, told me that lap 96 was as far as he could go. So in about 20 laps, we should be looking for LaJoie to make a pit stop. He's at a disadvantage if those guys can go to lap 105 to 110 because it'll take Randy 2 stops if he has to stop at lap 96.
There you have 3rd, 4th, 5th spot on back. David Green in 95. His brother Jeff Green in the 3. You've got Bobby Labonte in the 44, and the 99 is Glenn Allen.
We got ourselves a race for the lead.
We sure do. Race for the lead. Really closing in right now as Todd Bodine right there in the 81 has caught LaJoie, who still hasn't gotten around the lap machines.
Eli, it looks like Randy LaJoie's tires might have gone away a little bit because Bodine is just eating him alive as they go through the corners. Right now he's hung up on the outside of Randy Porter there, but Bodine has really been going through the corners very much faster than the 74 car Randy LaJoie.
Yeah, you know, Todd has just caught lap traffic better than Randy has. He really has caught him just right, and he's coming through the corner so quick that that's really helping him get by these guys.
Is that luck, guys, or can you really look and figure where you're going to be and try and catch a guy in the straightaway instead of a turn and all that?
It's just like driving down the highway, and every time you come to a stoplight, it catches you. And you say, why did that happen? Man, I'm in a hurry. And the other times, the guy just breathed right on through.
Well, as we were speaking, Bodine got into a little shoving match with Randy Porter down the front straightaway there because he didn't give him a break and raced him very hard on the outside, and he lost some valuable time to LaJoie.
Now LaJoie is going to be catching traffic again. That is he in the FINA machine. Does he go outside? Does he go inside? He looks to get around Doug Hevron in the 75.
And you got to remember something, Eli. These cars are coming up on now are not like lap over cars necessarily.
No.
They're guys that started back in the field, and this lead pack is catching them. But these are some good race cars. They're not going to just blow right by them.
Right. Again, this is a field, folks. Remember, that was established back in May on the weekend of the rain, and they started in an order of points as it was in May, not necessarily where it is today. And here's Todd Bodine catching him. The 81 is in second. Whoa, they use Hevron as a pick.
Yeah, Hevron really raced LaJoie hard to try to keep him going a lap down, knowing that, you know, this is a critical point of the race for him.
You can see Hevron get on the brakes and give Todd Bodine a good shot down in the corner there. Once you realize you're going to give that position up anyhow, it's much smarter to get out of the way and let him go.
Well, once the leader passes you, buddy, I mean, what you got to try to keep in front of the leader to keep, if the caution comes out, get a lap back. Once that leader blows by you, he starts to pull away. Why you want to hold anybody else up?
Exactly right.
Back to the stripe. Lap 81 going up on the board. Battle for the lead's a good one. Jim Bound just ahead of the race leader. We are going to keep monitoring this as Todd Bodine chases him down. Shane Hall is on the pit lane. He'll be making a stop if he can get around all the way. He's on the escape road, the entrance route, if you will, to the pit road, working the back straightaway. Meanwhile, the lead cars still haven't dispensed with Jim Bound yet in the Barbasol machine.
Eli, we're seeing two different lines here. The LaJoie goes low, and Todd runs just a little bit higher. His car's about a car length up off of the yellow line, as you can see right there, and LaJoie is right on the yellow line. And that's giving Todd a little bit better exit speed because he can arch. When I say arch, he can run up in the middle of the corner and then cut down into the throttle and go for the lead like he's doing right here.
Tried it there, but Randy LaJoie takes it away. They've also got traffic ahead of them. They're closing in on that yellow machine. That's Mike Laughlin. Mike Dillon is in the 72.
If your car will work a car length or so off of the bottom, you got to let you exit the corner so much faster because you're not binding the car up as you exit the corner.
Shane Hall has made it all the way around to the pit lane, so there'll be no problems. He stops, so does Rodney Combs as we watch the battle for the lead.
Well, Todd's thinking outside. He says, I can go by this cat on the outside if I catch him just right, and I think he probably can.
Eli, that's two northern boys right there running for the lead right now, and both of them are very proud of being from this part of the country up here. Todd Bodine from New York, and of course, Randy LaJoie from up in Connecticut, I think. And, boy, I mean, this has got to feel good to run this well in front of your hometown folks.
Right, Norwalk, Connecticut, and Chemung, New York. So the battle for the lead is a good one. It continues, as do we. 84 of 200 laps on the board. The Stanley 200 is live on TNN Motorsports.
One of these hammers is jacketed in high-impact polycarbonate. The other one is broken. The fiberglass jacketed hammer from Stanley.
Peerless Faucet didn't come up with the idea for a spout long and high enough to reach over and into large objects. We merely adapted it for the kitchen. High-rise faucet designs by Peerless. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
My brakes are gone. Any chance I could get that fixed in a couple of hours?
Tell you what, leave it here. I'll see what I can do. Check in periodically.
I was wondering, how's my car coming?
I have three of my best guys on it right now.
With Pep Boys 12 service bays and expert technicians, you're in and out fast. 26,000 items, tires, and service too. Pep Boys, everything but get.
Today's exclusive coverage of the Stanley 200 on TNN is brought to you by Pep Boys. 26,000 items at the guaranteed low price. Tires and service too. Everything but gas. And by Peerless Faucet. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
Welcome back, everybody. Battle for the lead still ongoing. Randy LaJoie at every opportunity holding Todd Bodine at bay.
Boy, this is a heck of a race right here, Eli. That's a lap car right there, 51, and he was right up in the way of the 95 there, and I thought there was going to be a little problem, but they worked through it all right.
95, David Green, that's third on back, and Jim Bound, we mentioned the 51, a lap car. He's been on pit road. Tim Fedewa is in for his stop at lap number 88. Meanwhile, up front, Todd Bodine can't do it.
Boy, he got in there good. He just didn't take the chance of maybe snagging Randy. He really gave him a break right there because he was all the way up on the quarter panel there. But these guys race every week against each other, and they're not going to put you in a cheap seat for nothing.
Kevin LePage is the 88 machine just ahead of the leaders, Randy.
Well, we talked with John Fabian for Todd Bodine. I said, when will you guys pit? He said, well, we're going to wait until Randy does, that's for sure. So they're going to stay out to at least lap 100, they feel, which should give them an opportunity to go the distance on fuel from there on in, especially if they catch a caution later on. So they're going to wait till lap 100. Glenn Jarrett?
Well, Randy, I asked Steve Bird again if he still planned on lap 96. He kind of went, well, maybe. He doesn't really know. They don't want to pit, until Todd's ready to pit. They would like to go halfway if they can. They had a few caution laps that they ran. He's hoping that might be able to stretch it just a little bit, but the team owner, Bill Bumgarner, just came over. They were discussing it. They're not letting us know exactly when it'll happen, but it's going to be within the next 4 or 5 laps, I have an idea.
What I liked, that aerial shot, it showed the two different lines that the two cars were running. Randy right around the bottom, and then Todd really running into the corner hard, shoving out a little bit, but getting a whole lot of speed when he comes into the turns. two totally different lines. See, Randy right on the yellow line, and down here in turn 3, you can really see a big difference in the two lines. Todd gets a late entry into the corner. He turns in a little later than Randy does. Well, the lap traffic's going to change that a little bit, but you can see he's about a car length out. And Todd would really like to go up beside of Randy right there, but he knows that Randy knows that you get a whole lot more bite with 8 tires than you do 4.
Now, almost looked like Randy would get caught in behind Jeff Fuller there in the 47, and Todd could have almost used that to his advantage, but there was just no place to pass.
If Todd passes, I think he'll slingshot him down into turn 3 down here and get up on the outside of him if he gets an opportunity.
Now, he's just messing with his mind there. When he pulled out on the outside there, he's not going to pass Randy LaJoie on the outside in this corner, I don't believe.
He wants to. He's sitting there thinking, I can do it, but he's not sure.
We're going to find out right now as we go down into turn 1.
Randy got loose that time. Does the 81 have enough to do it on the outside?
No way.
See, he knows.
Still there.
He's still there. Here's the spotter. Now, we got ourselves a drag race now.
This is good.
And the guy on the inside usually has the better line.
That's for the lead. Number 93 on the board. Randy LaJoie in the 74.
Great racing.
That's super. Todd Bodine in the 81. Now some of the other lead lap cars beginning to make their pit stops. We'll keep you informed on that. Jeff Purvis is on the pit lane for routine service from the Phoenix crew.
See, that's bad news for Todd Bodine because his advantage, or he thinks he has an advantage to the outside, but he just found out real quick Randy ain't going to give up. And so that's bad news for him. Now, he can catch him out of position here somewhere on the lap traffic. Great racing. This is two different lines and 2 different cars.
Darrell, what he's going to have to worry about right now is running up behind them when he has to back off for a slower car later on and catching him when he's running slow to the outside. Then he can get by him.
He might be able to. Boy, old Jeff Fuller there is giving him a hard time.
Well, Fuller, of course, has won here in Busch North in modified competition. He doesn't just pull over either.
No, he probably started pretty far back in the pack, too, because of the points. So they've caught up with him, not necessarily because he's slow, but because of his starting position.
All right, Fuller was all the way back in 26th spot in the original qualifying order. Actually started from the 25th hole today with your brother not being back to run. Michael Waltrip did not re-enter here today. So that moved everybody up just a tad.
Michael has a schedule, and he's sticking to it.
Back into the corner.
Here we go.
Battle again.
I don't know.
He may get him now.
I don't know.
He's still in there. They're fighting side by side. He got sideways.
See, his car is too tight to run the bottom, and when you get down on there and pinch it down to come off the corner, that's what's going to happen. So you front end starts pushing. Yeah. You cut into it to try to stop it, and it'll come around on you.
So you can't pass him on the outside. You're too tight to pass him on the inside.
So you just got to follow it. You just got to follow it. It's a driver's nightmare.
Gotta hate when that happens. Dennis Setzer slowing in the middle of the back straightaway. He does reach the escape road, however. He'll be heading towards the pit area.
Could he be out of fuel? 97 laps. That's a Ford. I don't know. It's close.
It's close. They had those couple of caution laps as well.
I believe he's out of fuel.
Could well be. He's just coasting on around. Here comes Fuller in. He'll make his stop as you look from high overhead. And now back to ground level. Lap number 98 on the board. Setzer has made it to the pit lane. Jeff Fuller is in for service.
Here we go. They're racing for the lead again.
Greg Clark from New York.
Clear.
They tell him you're clear. And around
we got a car going backwards.
Bravo, turn 3, car the wall.
Tim Fedewa.
Still green.
Tim Fedewa. Caution is on the speedway. It comes out at lap number 99. It'll be 100 as the leaders come by. So the second caution flag of the morning comes out as Tim Fedewa finds himself in the wall up in turns 3 and 4. We'll see exactly what happened, guys. And, Buddy, maybe we can kind of figure exactly what transpired here.
Looks like Mike Cope may have touched right on the left rear of Fedewa's car. You see him going across this flat racetrack. You don't scrub off any speed when you have a flat surface like this. Very hard into the outside wall there.
So at the halfway point, we've got pit stops upcoming. as Randy LaJoy and Todd Bodine. They've made this first half of this race just fly right by.
Well, they haven't. It's bad break for a couple of guys that are starting to make pit stops here.
Fuller was on pit road when the...
So was Setzer, you know.
Sorry, we got to get down here.
And the hood is up on Kenny Wallace's.
Good one to get out front.
Kenny's Red Dog machine has the hood up.
Pits are closed.
And you hear the spotters saying the pits are closed. Anybody who pits early now will have to restart at the tail end of the longest line of traffic.
Well, under caution here, I don't think anybody's under any danger running out of fuel if they were cutting it that close, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Now they have opened up the pit lane. They have put away the red flag. They open it up with a leader. Again, those who have pitted early will go to the back of that longest line of traffic. But here they come.
I guess Vito was all right up there. He hit the driver's side. And
Randy Pemberton's down inside Bodine's pit.
Todd Bodine is in. Unbelievably, he just was talking to his crew chief saying he thought that Randy LaJoy was leaking some rear-end fluid, so maybe we can get Glenn to check on that after this pit stop. It's going to be 4 tires up and down pit road. These guys were waiting for that caution to come out. They did not want to have to do it under green. So far, nice, smooth pit stop. Todd Bodine down and away. Glenn?
Same thing down here, Randy, and as you said that about the rear end fluid, I do not see any fluid, but I smell that awful odor that burning rear end grease makes when Randy brought the car in. Good stop for him also, but Terry LaBonnie and Chad Little beat him out.
So we'll reset the entire running order for you as soon as we come back, working only the second caution flag of the morning as we are 101 laps complete here in Loudon.
There's no track in the world that's tougher on brakes than the one in Martinsville, Virginia. And when drivers take the green flag here, they all have one thing in common, the same brand of brakes. Because without them, you can't come down this straightaway at 120 miles an hour and still make it through the turn. So which brand do the top drivers use to get them through 500 laps at Martinsville? Performance Friction Carbon Metallic. And we stock them at AutoZone.
Sir, I just need one thing.
Sorry, we're closed.
But this is Reba McIntyre.
See?
Yeah, right.
Show him, Reba.
If you want to chase fast, you don't let me down. She said, if you want to chase fast, you don't let me down.
Okay. You seem like a nice girl.
Thanks.
Sure know Reba.
I know what I like. I like freedom.
New Texas Grill.
On the next Dukes of Hazzard, when a pretty lady deputy arrives in Hazzard on temporary assignment, folks soon find out she has her own personal agenda. The Dukes are breaking out today at 4 TNN.
The Western Influence, specializing in the Western way for every day with made-in-the-USA quality clothing for all people in all walks of life. If it's boots you're looking for, let our experienced staff fit your next pair of handcrafted Justin or Nakoma boots the proper way. Or try some of our most wanted brands and authentic Western wear and accessories, including Stetson and Resistol hats, Montana Silversmith, Mini Tonka moccasins, Wrangler, New Hot Lawman jeans, and more. The Western Influence, the American way for every day, located at Braden River Plaza on State Road 64, Bradenton.
Welcome to Sam's Satellite City. May I help you?
I'm interested in DBS.
Direct broadcast satellite. You'll need a dish, a receiver, decoder, some converters, connectors, various and sundry electronic components.
I need all this?
This will get you started. Say, how many TVs do you have?
3.
Well then, you're just going to need a few more things, aren't you? There you go. Of course, this doesn't include your monthly subscription fees.
That costs extra.
And if you still want to watch local network programming, you'll also need a regular antenna. We have an excellent selection of regular antennas.
There you see the running order after the pit stops that have been made moments ago. We are 102 laps complete. That's how they came off the pit lane. Lots of racing yet to come as we continue live from Loudon on TNN Motorsports.
Now, for your home and shop, one amazing blade that cuts through practically anything. This is new multi-disc. It's safe, it won't break or shatter. It's amazingly flexible. It will never bind or kick back your work. Multi-disc cuts through this rock-hard ash baseball bat. It cuts through copper and iron pipes. Plastic pipes are cut off clean. There's no melting. Multi-disc is diamond and carbide throughout. As its powerful edge cuts, its sides grind a beautiful burr-free edge. It's one of the best grinding wheels on the market. It shapes tile, grinds away paint, rust, and debris in seconds. Call toll-free or send for Multi-disc now and start saving hundreds of dollars on single-purpose blades and wheels. Multi-disc does it all. Stop aggravating blade changes. Use the same Multi-disc to do hundreds of jobs. It saves you time and money. Best of all, Multi-disc will work on any rotary tool in your home or shop. Put it on your household drill and it cuts like magic. Grind off stripped screws or rusted bolts easily. Multi-disc cuts like a blade and grinds like a wheel. No ordinary blade can do that, and you can use it on any rotary tool you own. Compare Multi-disc with expensive steel blades for cutting Formica. Multi-disc sands while it cuts so there's no chipped edges. Call or send now. Cut perfect angles and grind curves in ceramic tile. This versatile tool cuts picture frame perfect moldings and trim. Hobbyists love it for detailing plastics, metal, and wood. Now you can take care of your own car. Remove all that paint, rust, and excess body filler. Now, in this limited time offer, you get 2 Multi-discs, a universal arbor to assure they'll fit all your rotary tools, and our unconditional money-back guarantee, all for only $12.98. Order now.
Welcome back to the New Hampshire International Speedway, continuing under the second caution of the afternoon. Time now for the Pep Boys driver feature. Come into Pep Boys, where service and quality are always number one. It has been a championship-type year for Randy LaJoie. Though a championship certainly isn't assured, he has led 6 different times this year in the 15 events. And for Randy LaJoie, 1996 has basically been a rebirth on his racing career.
I tell you what, the season we've had this year, it's made my racing career. The bush racing is very tough to get into, never alone be up in the points. David's tough. He knows how to run for a championship. He knows how to win a championship. Our team, Base Motorsports, won it last year, so they know what they're doing. We're pretty much on an equal keel. David's team and our team, we got the same motor program with K-Tech. So, it's whoever wants it more is going to win this thing.
That has been the Pep Boys driver profile. We remain under caution as an aftermath of a problem with the John Deere racing team. There's Chad Little, who was 10th before the pit stop, came out of the pit lane in 4th, but down in his pit area, there has been an injury. The crew member is conscious. You might even see him there sipping on some water. But Glenn Jarrett, can you give us an update as to what happened and who's down there?
Yes, Eli, that's Scott Kimball. He is the rear tire changer for the number 23 car of Chad Little. What happened, Scott was changing tires. There was a lot of traffic here on pit road. As he slung the air hose, as they do, moving from the right side to the left side, a car pulled out right behind him, and it hung the air hose and pulled the regulator off the top of the air bottle, and it exploded. It creates a tremendous amount of pressure, and that regulator came over and hit Scott in the left thigh region, and it pierced the skin a little bit. He's in a lot of discomfort. He is conscious. More than anything, he's really frustrated, but Scott's okay. Eli?
That's certainly good to hear. We'll update you further as our weekend continues. So while they tend to Scott Kimball, why don't we tend to some business? And we'll come back with more racing live from New Hampshire International Speedway.
Well, I'm 51 years old. I want to be 52, 53, so forth and so on.
Welcome to Ann Arbor, Michigan. Many smokers who are ready to quit are trying new Nicotrol, the simple one-step patch that can help control your urge to smoke so you can increase your chance of success in just 6 weeks. Over the next few weeks, we're going to show you how some of them do.
I really want to quit smoking cigarettes.
If you're ready to quit, Nicotrol is coming to your store July 18. 6 weeks, 1 step. Take control with Nicotrol.
If you're trying to keep cool with Central Air over 10 years old, you must have money to blow. Thought so. A new Luxair high-performance Central Air or heat pump system could reduce your energy cost and save you money.
Cool by Luxair.
Dependable, affordable comfort comes from Luxair.
Can we come inside? We're cool. Mom.
Call your Luxair dealer and catch the NASCAR 99 Luxair Chevy in all the Busch Grand National Series races.
I can't believe I'm losing my hair back here.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, right.
Look, if you want to regrow some hair, check this out. Rogaine? Don't you need a prescription?
Not anymore.
How's it work? Rogaine goes to the root of your hair, and for some people, gets it to grow.
What have you got to lose?
Nothing, I guess, except more hair.
That's been easy to use.
And it's starting to work.
See, there's room for growth in every relationship.
Rogaine, medically proven to regrow hair.
One of these hammers is jacketed in high-impact polycarbonate. The other one is broken. The fiberglass jacketed hammer from Stanley.
I'm the king grill.
Oh, yeah?
Baby, you know who's boss. Give me a 2-inch thick T-bone with spicy, hanging, Heinz 57 steak sauce.
Yeah, you're cooking now.
Let's eat.
There's only one way to get backstage at the world's biggest country concert, and it's not tickets. It's TNN. Join Katie Haas and Bill Cody behind the scenes for the Country Fest 96 preview party with Alan Jackson, Alabama, Hank Williams Jr., Pam Tillis, Patty Loveless, Tracy Byrd, the Charlie Daniels Band, Leroy Parnell, Kenny Chesney, and more. The Through the Loom All-Star Country Fest 96 preview party, Tuesday, 8 Eastern, only on TNN.
We're about a lap away from going back to green here at New Hampshire. Let's take a look at what's been going on up to this midpoint. We're getting some great views from overhead the speedway from the Hood blimp. Hood is a ice cream and dairy and cheese company up here in this part of the country, and they have been providing us the great views. The Stanley Mid-Race Report, brought to you by Stanley Tools. Of course, the folks, since 1843, Stanley has been helping people do things right. Lead changes, just a couple. You have David Green, Randy LaJoie, now Todd Bodine as the race leader. We are working at this moment still the second caution of the morning, as the laps will end up being at 12 caution laps before we go back to green. And in the garage area, those two plus the third now, Tim Fedowa, who with the accident of moments ago has gone to the garage area.
One to go here, and did you notice that old Hood blimp? It wasn't moving very fast.
Well, it doesn't have to. I don't move very fast, but I'm here.
I think it's full of ice cream. What I think. He's going to make a delivery.
I believe so. We're down here.
That's right.
107 laps on the board. If you're curious, you've got Terry Labonte. He's running in third. He was 7th before the pit stop. You've got now Chad Little in 4th. He was 10th before the pit stop. Larry Pearson, who was in 7th, he was 13th before the pit stop. The other direction, though, you've got Bobby Labonte, who was 5th, is now in 12th position. So that's how the running order is shuffled just a bit as we go back to green.
Plus, there was a change of the lead in the pits, too.
Exactly.
81 came out ahead of 74.
Exactly. Scott Bodine, we showed earlier, took over the advantage. Now let's see what LaJoie can do to him in the 74 right behind.
Okay, Todd Bodine is saying his car is extremely tight on new tires. That was his report at the first of the race. Do you think he's going to be able to drive off now?
Well, it'd be interesting to see. LaJoie was pretty good on new tires, so we'll see what happens here. Boy, it's tight going into turn 3. Oh, my goodness.
We were right in there with Chad Little.
I closed my eyes. I don't know about y'all. It never ceases to amaze me how everybody can find a place to go when they go in a corner like that.
Randy Porter right there, and everybody's scattered to get around him in the 48 machine.
We have a change for third place there. You see Chad Little making a move on Terry Labonte going down into turn 3 and makes the pass.
And we've got caution on the speedway now. Caution is on the speedway. Debris from the Porter machine and something also from Kenny Wallace's Red Dog car. And caution is on the speedway. Todd Bodine. And pit road is closed as the teams still circulate the racetrack. There you see Randy Porter. He obviously either lost an engine, missed a shift, something along those lines. So caution now at lap 112 coming out for the third time this morning. Todd Bodine shows the way over Randy LaJoie as we are live in Loudon on TNN.
Hey, you're a guy, and guys want to be cool. Hang out with other guys who are cool. But even cool guys sweat. 40% more than women, in fact. So how you gonna stay cool? With something new, Speed Stick Gel. No other gel keeps you drier, so you always feel your coolest. It's unbeatable gel protection. And guys, no matter how cool they are, need all the protection they can get. New Speed Stick Gel. It's just for the guys.
I know just about every garage in town. I guess I ought to know them all. More professionals use Napa parts than any other. It's because they can't afford to put in the same part twice. Just look at the signs. When did you see anything but we install Napa parts? Dan here liked us so much, he became a Napa Auto Care Center. Yep, everybody loves Napa. Of course, some say it's the hat. I think it's my good looks.
We keep America running.
There you see the running order right now as we work caution for the third time. There's debris and oil on the racetrack, so we are taking time now to make sure this racetrack is clean for all the teams to resume. Time now for our Peerless Faucets Innovation in Motion. Peerless Faucet, get more out of your faucet than just water.
Since the advent of the radial tire in stock car racing, one of the key ways that race teams make chassis adjustments during the race is through air pressure, tire air pressure adjustments. Well, how do you know how much a pound of air affects spring rating? This machine right here shows you exactly that. And Eddie Pearson with Buckshot Jones Racing Team will tell us how this machine works. Eddie?
Well, Glenn, what we have here, this machine works basically just like a spring rater. What we'll do is set the tires at recommended air pressure, put it on the machine, and preload it on the gauge here at 100 pounds of pressure. Then we'll reset the gauge, and we'll have 1 inch of travel, and this will give us a reading here exactly of what the pressure is with the sidewalls. To make the adjustment, you know, you can just let down 1 to 2 pounds of pressure, and what's tricky about these tires is the short track tires, the sidewalls are so soft it takes 2.5 to 3 pounds of pressure to reduce the car 100 pounds of rate. And on the speedways with the radial tire and the interliner, it takes only 1 pound of pressure to change 100 pounds of rate on these tires.
For only about $1,500, you can make your race car go quicker.
Tell you, it's something the way the tech now. How do you guys keep, buddy, when you were racing, Darrell, you and Jeff Hammond, how does everybody keep up with all the latest gadgets? Do these companies come to you and say, try this? How do you keep up with the technology?
Eli, it's real simple. 3 inches of money, 4 inches of money, 5 inches of money. Just keep, you know, money buys speed. How fast do you want to go?
Yeah, how fast can you afford to go? Yeah.
Well, every time you turn around, somebody's figured out a way to check something that we have always taken for granted. We have shock dynos, spring raters, tire raters. The interesting thing is tire gauges today, Eli, you know, a pound here and a pound there. Sure. Now we're down to a 1/4 pound, a 1/2 pound. I mean, that's how sensitive a radial tire is.
They even can check to see if the driver's holding it wide open all the time.
I know that. I saw the results of one of those tests in Daytona during the winter. The driver says, I'm holding the pedal down. They said, the computer right here says you're not. We're coming right back.
You see the NASCAR fan that is really committed. They'll be sitting in the grandstands probably at 7 o'clock in the morning, even if it's pouring down rain. They'll drive 6 hours to meet you for 2 minutes.
Well, the word I think that sticks out in my mind is loyal.
When they go to the grocery store, you know, they look for the products that sponsor race cars.
Loyalty is what a NASCAR fan is all about.
NASCAR fans, it's true. You're the best in all of sports.
Tracy Lawrence heats up the stage for a special TNN concert.
Everybody say hi, Wade.
With Wade Hayes.
I'm still too young to care.
Hey, I think we're making history tonight.
And Toby Keith.
There ain't much fun since I quit drinking.
Tracy Lawrence in the round. Saturday night at 10 Eastern, 9 Central on TNN. It's back-to-back racing from New Hampshire. First, NASCAR's ground pounders battle for modified prize. Then, the Busch North boys fire it up and get nasty. The Pennzoil 150/40, Saturday, 1 p.m., noon Central on TNN Motorsports.
Wanted, mature, sensitive men.
Red or white?
He kissed my hand.
Where's your hand?
Whoa, check please.
You're not wearing a bra, are you?
And modern liberated women.
You posed naked? Whoa, pinch me.
to work at the world's wackiest airline.
You bet your G-string.
Maybe there's hope for me yet.
For non-stop flights of lunacy,
My, what a pleasant turn of events.
hop aboard Wings on USA. Weeknights at 7, 6 Central. Hi, cable is your place for big stars and fast action. In the third millennium, he is judge.
Turn on your weapons and prepare to be judged.
Jury. And executioner.
Court's adjourned.
Judge Dredd on Showtime. Don't miss Sylvester Stallone, Armand Asante, and Rob Schneider in this high-adventure sci-fi thrill ride on cable, where the law is. On Time Warner, your cable company.
Don't forget, coming up on TNN this weekend, tomorrow, on the air at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, the Pennzoil 150. That's the NASCAR Busch North Series with Mike Stefanik on the pole. You've also got the Modifieds running tomorrow, the NASCAR Featherlight Modified Tour, and the Pennzoil 40. Then on Sunday, the NASCAR Winston Cup teams, the Jiffy Lube 300, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. All coming up right here on TNN Motorsports, where we bring you more NASCAR racing than any other network. We also bring you Randy Pemberton.
Well, we documented earlier Phil Parsons out of the race, getting caught up in a crash. Phil, you can't catch a break lately. You've wrecked a bunch of race cars, fourth in points coming in. You're going to lose a bunch today.
Yeah, we are. I really hate it for my Channel Lock team. I tell you, the guys work really hard. This is the car that Trickle ran into us with at Watkins Glen just a couple weeks ago, and the guys jumped there and fixed it. And you know, I thought we were going to have a good day. We had a good starting position, but the thing just swapped ends going in the corner, and around it went, and the thing hit so hard that it bent the rear frame section up against the rear end housing. We really couldn't get it fixed. It's the only race we haven't finished this year. We, you know, we were bruised and battered last week, but otherwise we've been right up there. But just want to say I hate it for Channel Lock and all the guys, but we'll get them at Talladega.
Okay, good luck at Talladega. Eli?
Phil Parsons, who made his 150th Busch Series start today. Now the AutoZone Tech Fact, brought to you by more than 1,350 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best in auto parts.
We were talking a while ago about the air regulators and the what hurt Scott Kimmel a while ago. Let's take a look at these things. These are the air bottles up under the war wagon here that the teams use to power the air guns. Now this is the coupling that connects it to the regulator. This is the regulator right here. If we take a look over here at the gauge, you can see that there is in excess of 200 pounds per square inch of pressure on this hose when it's in operation. Now what happened? Jason Keller pulled out of his pits, hooked the air hose out of Scott's hand. It pulled this coupling off. With over 200 pounds per square inch of pressure, that thing just goes wild. You can't believe how fast it moved. It swung wild and hit Scott in the thigh. As we said, they have removed him from the track now. He seems to be in pretty good shape. We've got the actual piece here that it took off. This is where it did. It just absolutely just pulled it right out of it. So that's the regulator and the problem that Scott Kimmel had. As we said, Scott is in the ambulance. He's going to be okay, but he's in a little bit of pain.
I can imagine. Thanks, Glenn. A good update there. We know exactly what transpired. That hurt just looking at it.
Yeah, it did. It's almost like getting shot in the leg. I mean, that's about the impact it would have.
Here we go. 118 laps going up on the board now as we are set to go back to green. They'll restart at lap 119. And everybody jockeys for position. Do you think anybody's got something for Todd?
I don't know. I think LaJoy does. I believe it. Got off
spinning
trouble,
around.
big trouble.
Jeff Fuller. Chad Little was there. Caution is on the speedway.
Look who made it through.
Look who made it through. Randy LaJoy.
He drove right through it. And here comes a car on the outside trying to get a lap back. Who is that?
You see Mike Dillon backing down the racetrack.
Bobby
Dotter. 72.
Here comes Dotter, and he's going to get a lap back.
Here comes Laughlin. Mike Laughlin is there.
Dotter, that's heads-up driving on Dotter.
And we are under caution. Caution coming out, lap number 119. And there's the problems for the John Deere team. Looks as though Chad did a little...
car. 81 car is torn up.
Yep. You were saying you think anybody has something for Todd. There goes that line.
Yeah. And, of course, bad luck continues for the 23 car. I can't believe it. Last week, Todd had the fastest car, I felt like, in Milwaukee, and he gets crashed today.
You know, Darrell, what happened there? Just coming off the corner over there, Jeff Fuller was on the outside, and Todd Bodine was underneath, and they kind of made contact coming out of the corner and got them both sideways. And then, of course, the 23 car just come in there and wham down.
Oh, yeah.
The team come in behind.
Yep, Todd and Jeff right there, spinning first.
Heads up driving on Joy's part. He shot right through that opening. And
everybody scrambles. The 99 there, Glenn Allen Jr., he got a piece of that, you saw.
That's just a great job of driving on so many people's part because, I mean, we're talking at the front of the field right here.
See, right here, they start off, they make a little bit of contact right there. You see them both get sideways.
Boy, the joy, I tell you what, that's a good job. And poor old Chad, he just was in the outside lane already and had nowhere to go.
We'll take one more look at it and see exactly what happened. We'll take a slow motion look from our speed cam.
You know, buddy, it almost looks like that Todd started to get loose and just kind of got his back end out into Fuller, actually.
They made contact coming off the corner.
I don't think Fuller did anything wrong.
Reaction from there.
Yeah.
Watch this as they come off.
Let's ride with Chad Little now.
There they make contact. Now you see both cars get sideways. Whoa.
Oh, man. I'm pretty sure that what happened was Todd just got the back end out from under him and got into the 47 car.
So while they work on Chad Little's machine, let's check in Todd Bodine's situation. Randy, how bad's the damage?
It's pretty significant, no question about it, particularly on the right rear. This whole thing started prior to them going back to green flag racing. Todd had asked the 47 if he would give him a break and let him go on by. He said, well, if he's faster, he can come. He said, well, I'm coming. And that's exactly what happened.
Well, that happens sometimes. You know, the guy leading the race thinks that a lap-over car should give him the whole racetrack. And, of course, Fuller's trying to get a lap back, and that's the great thing about double-line restarts.
Let's go down to Glenn now and get the story from the Chad Little pit.
Well, you can't see much now for all the guys working around it, but they have taken the whole nose off of Chad's Pontiac. It was just dragging along anyway. His biggest problem is, if you can see, there's a pool of oil right in front of the left front tire. He ruptured an oil line. It was spewing oil everywhere when he came in here, so he's got a lot of problems. The guy just threw the nose over there. I'm going to talk to these guys. I need a nose job, too. Maybe they can help me out.
They got big hammers. I'm sure they can fix it for you.
Even for the world's greatest crews, some things are impossible to handle. 121 laps on the board. We're going to come right back and talk more from Loudon as Randy LaJoie has inherited the lead in the Stanley 200.
Phew, that smells worse than I do. It's my sweaty, smelly feet.
You need Odor Eater's foot powder. Now it has powerful Arm & Hammer baking soda. Look, foot odor is caused by sweaty acid, and now Odor Eater's powder actually neutralizes odor-causing acid. These Dr. Scholl's can't. Plus, Odor Eater's powder can dry up 25 times more wetness than talc.
No more wet, smelly feet. Wow!
Stop foot odor and wetness with Odor Eater's foot powder. Now with Arm & Hammer baking soda.
Get a grip on it. Tools that built the USA. Get a grip on it. Then you can be your best today. Yeah. When you grip on it.
When you need a grip on life's little challenges, get a grip on Channel Lock.
When you build a country by hand, you're going to get a little dirty doing it. And for 100 years, America's dirtiest hands have been coming clean with lava. Pumice-powered lava, cleaning the hands that make America strong.
I'm the king grill.
Oh, yeah?
Baby, you know who's boss. Give me a 2-inch thick T-bone with spicy, hanging, Heinz 57 steak sauce.
Yeah, you're cooking now.
Let's eat.
To get the most out of this Indy car, Patrick Racing put Scott Pruitt behind the wheel. They built a team that could get it in and out of the pits in the blink of an eye. And they chose a battery they can depend on to get it started. The Duralast battery from AutoZone. The same Duralast you can depend on to start your car. So don't settle for anything less. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
Today's exclusive coverage of the Stanley 200 on TNN is brought to you by the more than 1,350 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by tangy Heinz 57 steak sauce. Let's eat.
Guys, we take one more look at the replay of that last restart. When a guy radios in and says, cut me a little slack here, as apparently Todd was talking about with Jeff Fuller, is there any responsibility there? I mean, is there a gentleman's agreement to give the guy a bit of a break, or has Jeff got his piece and he's entitled to it?
I got to tell you, Jeff didn't do that much wrong. He was on the outside. The lead car was on the preferred line around the bottom. He picked up the throttle, slid out into him. I really can't say that he did anything wrong.
Darrell, do you honor a request like that over the radio?
No, we're going back green here real quick, but let me just say this. They're both race car drivers. One's a lap down, one isn't. The guy on the outside, it's an opportunity. Here he is with the leader. If I can get in front of the leader, I might be able to get my lap back.
Trouble in turn number 1, 2, 3 cars up in the wall. Dennis Setzer and Joe Nemechek are involved, among others. Lap 124. We are staying under green for the moment. Scramble for the lead up front.
I don't think we're going to get a caution.
No yellow yet. Everybody's pulled away. And now on that break, the lead has gone into the hands of Terry Labonte. You see him, the number 5 now, ahead of Randy LaJoie. There goes Nemechek pulling away. Setzer is pulled away. We stay under green, and Terry Labonte has gone to the top spot.
Look at Randy LaJoie there, though. He's just moving up at will here, and of course David Green, if he gets the angle there, will try to get under Terry, but Terry closes the doors. They head in to turn 3 there.
Let's see what happened.
Let's take another look here. Yeah, let's see if we can show you exactly what happened.
It's just a whole bunch of cars trying to get down on the inside here.
Looks like Nemechek was under the yellow line all the way on the apron there and got a little bit sideways and got into the other car there.
But now we have a caution.
Yep, NASCAR is going to put the caution out now for debris.
And I tell you, the beneficiary of that, we got
a car in the
Patty Moise in the wall.
Yeah. The beneficiary of that was the 75 car Hebron, who had been running pretty good, and he just got a lap back, so that's a big break for him. And I hope Patty's all right, because she's been ailing just a little bit.
Yeah. Lap 126, the caution out for the 5th time now. Nemechek and Dennis Setzer got together up there in the corner, and now Patty Moise being checked out by the officials. Let's see if we can tell exactly what happened to Patty's car.
Oh, geez.
Oh, she's with
somebody
else there.
Yeah.
That is going to be the 51 Jim Bound, who spun first by that quick look there, and then Patty apparently got a piece of the spinning Barbasol car. So that's what happened to Patty Moise. 127 on the board as we work that caution flag. In the garage area, Phil Parsons, Bill Hoff, Tim Fedowa, and Randy Porter. Others trying to rebuild their cars.
Well, I'm 51 years old. I want to be 52, 53, so forth and so on.
Welcome to Ann Arbor, Michigan. Many smokers who are ready to quit are trying new Nicotrol, the simple one-step patch that can help control your urge to smoke so you can increase your chance of success in just 6 weeks. Over the next few weeks, we're going to show you how some of them do.
I really want to quit smoking cigarettes.
If you're ready to quit, Nicotrol is coming to your store July 18. 6 weeks, 1 step. Take control with Nicotrol.
Sir, I just need one thing.
Sorry, we're closed.
But this is Reba McEntire.
See?
Yeah, right.
Show him, Reba.
If you want to change fast, you don't let me down. She said, if you want to change fast, you don't let me down.
Okay. You seem like a nice girl.
Thanks.
Sure know Reba.
I know what I like. I like freedom.
New Texas Grill.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane, Texaco Clean System 3, Power Plus, and Power Premium gasolines are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks. And you may feel like you've left your old car behind.
Oh, add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
Announcing special savings on Armor All waterproofing sealer. Now for only $7.99 a gallon, you can protect the wood, brick, and concrete around your house. But hurry, this Armor All waterproofing sealer special is for a limited time only.
Leave it to Peerless Faucet to create a shower so smart, it can not only sense when a toilet has been flushed, it can also adjust the water temperature accordingly. Scald Guard technology by Peerless. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
Monday on TNN.
Y'all gonna talk or are we gonna ride?
They're gonna ride. Join Kyle Petty and his Winston Cup driving country music playing friends on the motorcycle adventure of a lifetime. From coast to coast for a good cause.
This is my infamous belly button song.
Kyle sings with Mark Colley, Tracy Lawrence, Lisa Stewart, and more. Kyle Petty's Ride Across America. Monday on TNN, the Nashville Network.
They are live at the New Hampshire International Speedway. And don't forget, folks, Opryland is available for you to visit, the official destination of NASCAR. Give them a call right now if you'd like. That phone number is available at this very moment, 615-889-6611. Find out about the official destination of NASCAR, Opryland. Great place to take the family. Well, we have had only 5 green flag laps since the 99th lap. 4 cautions in that period, and there's part of the reason why. Glenn, what are we looking at?
Well, that is, believe it or not, the fuel pump off of Glenn Allen's car. They just put a new one on. In fact, he just fired it up and is pulling out as we speak as soon as they get the hood down. But he was involved in that first restart wreck with Todd Bodine. And just like everybody else, had no place to go. But you can see one of the fittings off the fuel pump. He hit so hard it broke it right off. He couldn't get any gas.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Now he's got gas, so I'm getting away from him.
The fortunate thing is that it didn't catch on fire, because that's right there where the gas line is, right on the header. So sometimes it catch on fire when they do that.
Well, that's what we were talking about seconds ago. Only 5 green flag laps since lap number 99. 4 cautions in that period. I mean, is it just restarts, or do guys all of a sudden go buggy? What happens in the middle of the race?
Let's back up. And what do we say at the beginning of the show? Got to run low. Got to keep it down on the yellow line.
Right.
Got to have, that's the preferred line. Outside of the groove is real slick. So you get a guy on the outside of you. What makes sense? The guy the guy that's leading the race, you let another guy that's a lap down pull up beside him. Who's got the most to lose?
Sure.
So, I mean, the guy on the end, the guy leading the race, he's got to worry about, like in the Fuller case where he said, give me a break. He can't give him a break. This is racing. This ain't like we're riding down the highway, So the guy on the outside says, I got to go in there with you. Hope nothing happens.
27 laps of caution since lap 90. Let's go back to Glenn and Glenn Allen's pit.
Well, also, Dale, just to emphasize what you're saying there, they've all got on fresh tires now, so the cars will get a bite up in that outer groove, whereas before, when the tires were worn, they couldn't stay up there. They couldn't race up there. But on fresh rubber, the car will stay there, and it'll get a bite, so that just backs things up even that much more.
Yeah, and then a little stay dry, and it blows up on the outside lane, and it gets slicker, and, it creates a lot of problems.
Talk about backing things up. This is a jam-packed day here at the track, too.
Wow.
We're still 70 laps from wrapping this one up. There's a Busch North race yet to go. The Winston Cup teams haven't even gotten on the racetrack, and they qualify today at 5. A lot of racing coming up, and here we go, back to green. The leader, number 74, Randy LaJoy. Terry Labonte right behind him in the 5. They're dealing with the lap machine of Buckshot Jones, the 00, the winner last week in Milwaukee.
Yeah, he pitted early, he got caught in one of those situations where he came in under green and then the caution came out. So he may be quick enough to stay there.
Randy LaJoy, one of 16 cars on the lead lap right now. Joe Nemechek did not continue. His car is still on pit road after the accident. The hood is up.
Eli, now, Randy LaJoy in the 74 there, and Buckshot come off the corner just like the other two did. Randy waited his time. Now he's going to make the pass going down the back straightaway. You have to have a little patience every once in a while in racing.
Here comes Bobby Labonte in the 44. Jeff Purvis in the 4.
Is Purvis a lap down? I think he is, isn't he?
At this point, Purvis is being shown a lap down.
Yeah.
David Green there, the 95. The 3 of Jeff Green. They are 3rd and 4th right now. A lot of lap machines interspersed among those on the lead lap. Chad Little is back on the pit lane again. The hood is up on the John Deere machine. And there's a guy we've not talked about much, Mike McLaughlin, the 34. He has 2 seconds, a 3rd and a 6th in his last 4 races. He won both Busch North races here in '92, won another in '93. Kind of figured maybe he'd be shooting right to the front. Here we are now, middle of the race. He's up to 9th.
He's running a very consistent race right now. Just behind him there is Wallace, who's had all kind of problems. He's many laps down. But as you say, right now, Mike McLaughlin is just kind of biding his time and going through traffic.
Meanwhile, Jason Keller and the rest of the pack now working midfield. There's the number 1 right there, middle of your screen. That's Hermie Sadler. He started way back today, and all of a sudden he's up to 5th. Keller right behind him is 6th in the Slim Jim colors.
You know, Hermie runs so well, so many places, but he always has such bad luck. I mean, a lot of times right at the end of the race.
Big story, though, is that the race leader now, Randy LaJoie, has pulled away from Terry Labonte by 1.03 seconds. That's the battle between Sadler, the 1, Keller, the 57. That is 5th and 6th.
I think Jason Keller in the 57 there is a little bit quicker than Hermie, but he cannot get the position and put him away. So he keeps trying inside, outside, but he just can't quite get the drive off the corner and put Hermie down.
Well, there goes the leader by Chad Little, and don't you know Chad is just sick. Having one of his best runs. The car looks about as good as it's looked all year, and he's riding around on the apron.
There he is, the 23.
Poor guy.
Yeah, you got to
feel sorry for him.
Look at Jeff Green working on his brother there. The cat car, that's David Green. Jeff Green's all over him trying to take that spot away.
That's the battle there, 95 and 3 for 3rd spot. You're seeing the Napa field standing update across the top of the screen. The folks from Napa, we keep America running. They bring you the updates throughout the course of our coverage here on TNN Motorsports. The other brother combo, we talked about Hermie Sadler there, the number 1, his brother Elliott Sadler, now running in 17th spot. He is the first car 1 lap down. Curtis Markham now, side by side with Joe Bessie, the 63 and 9. They are running for 13th and 14th position right now back into turn number 1.
And Joe, this is usually a good racetrack for him, Joe Bessie. He's had some good runs here, and it's kind of like a home track for him.
And Curtis Markham used to run the Busch North Series for Quint Bovair, knows this racetrack as well as anybody. That's the 45 machine of Mike Laughlin right there. Behind them, Bobby Dotter. There's Bobby and the other yellow car in the picture.
Dotter was really coming up through the field well earlier, and he's kind of tapered off a little bit now, it seems like.
Right, Bobby Dotter running in 15th position, still on the lead lap. And there you see Markham with Mike Laughlin finding an opening.
I tell you, old Buckshot he's not fading back. I mean, I guess he's a lap down, but
he's got a couple down now, unfortunately. But yeah, he's having, you know, that's going to be frustrating. If it takes you a while to get the car going well, next thing you know, you're running with the leaders, but you're a couple down.
And I've seen him do that a couple of times this year. Dover comes to mind, where he got a couple laps down at the end of the race. He was right there with them. So that's some of that inexperience that goes with that youth that he has. Sometimes you don't get the car exactly like you need to on the start of the race, and you got to stop and work.
Buckshot Jones tested here way back in April in anticipation of this race being run on schedule May the 11th. But again, you'll do that with a young driver.
Oh, yeah. Well, he really got caught in a bad situation. He wasn't running that bad, and he pitted under green, and then the caution came out. So that's probably where he lost his time.
5th place right there on the screen. Sadler, Keller, Bobby Labonte.
Got us a good little race here, you know, from second on back. Really tight.
Up front, meanwhile, if you're curious, the lead is now 1 6/10 seconds for Randy LaJoie on Terry Labonte.
Daryl, you could be running 10th right now and be flying.
That's
Look at
right.
these guys. That
That's
means
right.
from
They're
second back, it's really tight.
Really tight. You know, and Todd Bodine is moving back up through the field. I don't think he hurt his car that badly in that wreck over there. He didn't knock any the front end off of it.
He's
so
5.5 seconds back, but he's on the lead lap.
He's coming, too, I tell you. And now that it's wrecked, what the heck? He can drive the wheels off of it.
I noticed he's got a little more rear spoiler on the right rear than most of them have. You can see the trunk spin up there just a little bit, but they don't seem to be hurting the performance at all on that car.
Nick Trickle is just ahead of him there, the 64 running in 10th spot. The 8 machine, Kenny Wallace, he's a number of laps down at this stage of the afternoon.
Actually, Todd's car looks about like it did before he got in that crash. He's still running that little bit, fading up in the middle of the corner and coming off the corner nice and fast.
That's 10th and 11. Dick
And there's old Dick Trickle. Wonder if he's awake. Somebody might ought to give him a wake-up call. I know he hadn't had near enough coffee.
No, he's got a little Mr. Coffee.
Little Mr. Coffee Maker in there this morning. A little early for Dick to be out racing. He'll probably have to go through some driver orientation earlier today.
Yeah, we fired this one up at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we certainly hope you're able to stay with us, obviously. It is a work day for many. We're glad to have you along. Jim Bound's car going to the garage area, joining Phil Parsons, Bill Hoff, Tim Fedowa, Randy Porter, and Patty Moise. Meanwhile, back up front, Randy LaJoie still showing the way. He led laps 9 through 100, lap 120 through 124. Reassumed the lead at 126. We're now at lap 145, 55 laps to go.
At Citgo, when you team up our super premium gasoline with our Super Guard motor oil, you'll get all the high performance and reliability you demand. So, prepare yourself to be totally blown away. Super premium performance. Citgo says go.
Claritin.
I'll ask my doctor.
It's time to see your doctor.
For a trial of Claritin.
Yes, ask your doctor for a trial of Claritin. For free information and a $5 coupon toward a prescription for Claritin, call 1-800-CLARITIN.
Work boots. There's one place they don't work. Inside, they just don't have much cushioning. Dr. Scholl's Maximum Comfort work insoles give you 100% more cushioning. They make work easier on your feet.
Welcome back, everybody, with Darrell Waltrip and Buddy Baker, Glenn Jarrett, and Randy Pemberton. I'm Eli Gold. We are live at New Hampshire International Speedway on this Friday morning. That is the man who is leading, Randy LaJoie from Norwalk, Connecticut. In the garage area over the last couple of moments, Joe Nemechek and Greg Clark both parking their machines. There's Terry Labonte. He's in the 5. He's running second. The 95 is David Green. He is running third. Still showing 16 machines on the lead lap with 51 laps to go.
You know, Eli, this series is kind of like the Winston Cup Series. You look at the front of the field every week and you see the same familiar faces. LaJoie and certainly Green, and of course the Labonte brothers when they're out there.
Yeah.
And they seem to be the class of the field every week.
Well, you know, Terry's got Beecher Hetland building those engines for him in-house.
Yeah.
That'll
Good
help.
man.
He's a
Good man. Yeah.
Well,
he built engines for me when I was at Junior Johnson's.
That's
and
right.
Some of my best engines Beecher built.
Yeah, it's a good one. That second place battle, the 00 is a couple of laps down, Buckshot Jones. But behind him, the battle for second spot. There's Bob Labonte, the Patriot.
Yeah, he doesn't like cameras. See, he's camera shy. Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Do you know where he was born? He's a Mainer. Did you know that Bob Labonte was born in Maine?
No.
Yep. He was raised in Rumford, Maine, lived there until he was 18 years old before the family relocated to Corpus Christi, Texas.
One of the funniest commercials is the commercial my dad and him do the Mountain Dew commercial. I love that commercial.
151 on the board, 49 to go. Jeff Green now in the 3, catching up again with his brother David. Just ahead of that second place battle, he's got Billy Engel moving over.
Yeah, we haven't said anything about Billy, but you know he's still out there and he hadn't raced very much.
No.
And he hadn't really caused any problems today.
He's just been out there basically minding his business.
Getting him some seat time.
The WCW car. Haven't thrown anybody into the turnbuckle today.
No, he hadn't knocked anybody out.
Well, Billy's done well. He had a little problem. You know, that's the bottom line. We're not making fun here. Seat time is everything.
It is.
You just have to get experience.
It is. And, of course, he's always had a great ambition to drive. I admire a guy that, oh, gosh, look at this race look for this.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was 3 wide there with Bobby Labonte in the 44 and Hermie Sadler squeezing through there.
5th place Bobby Labonte gets now.
Yeah. Billy became a pick in that situation.
You know, somebody we hadn't mentioned at all is Mike Wallace, and he's run quite well. He's right in this group right along here in the green and black car there, the number 90. He's running quite well.
Yeah, he's up in 8th spot as you see across the top of your screen. Meanwhile, the leader, Randy LaJoy, he has led 125 of the 153 laps that we have run thus far today. There's Mike McLaughlin in the 34, Dick Trickle the 64, the 81 Todd Bodine. That is now 9th, 10th, and 11th positions on the racetrack. Within shouting distance of the finish now. Look at the crowd they have got here. I'm just now looking down to see in the grandstand here. Yeah. Obviously, some of the seats weren't even sold. They weren't even open, the ones in the corners. But folks, check out, you see that section there, that obviously wasn't even open for available seating today. But check out the crowd in the grandstand as they come here, and there are people on the hill out the back straightaway too, campers and folks just sitting on that hill out there.
Can you imagine on a Friday morning at 10 o'clock getting a crowd like this? That front grandstand has a ton of people in it.
Imagine how many folks called in sick today, Glenn.
Yeah, there were a lot of absenteeism, but you know, I heard on the radio coming out to the racetrack this morning, they're making announcements now. If you do not have tickets for Sunday's race, do not come to the racetrack because they're completely sold out. You can't get any tickets. So if you can't watch it there, you know where you can see it, right here on TNN.
And of course, in case you folks might have missed it here yesterday and in Texas, the announcements were made that the Texas Motor Speedway and New Hampshire International Speedway getting dates. Oh, problems. There's Bill Engel. We had talked about him, does a spin here on the main straightaway, and we are under caution. Caution at lap number 157 when the leaders come by. But as we were saying, Texas Motor Speedway gets a Busch and Winston Cup weekend, April 5th and 6th of next year. And New Hampshire here gets a second date, September the 14th, as the two North Wilkesboro dates drop off the schedule.
Yeah, I was going to say, Engel was, what happened, he's been in lap track, a lot of cars have been passing him the last little bit, and he's been trying to stay out of the way, but I thought somebody was going to nip him here sooner or later.
Doug Hevron.
Yeah. He's been trying to stay down out of the way and not cause anybody any problems, but finally caught up with him.
Whoa! Mike Laughlin just did get by on the inside there.
Meanwhile, there goes a 3-second lead for Randy LaJoy as Bill Engel was running in 25th spot, 3 laps down at the time of the caution. We are live in Loudon. We're coming right back with more.
Where does Napa keep over 200,000 different parts? Right up here. Now remember, your belt tension on this is critical. What kind of car is it? Well, I'll sell you all the struts you want, but I wouldn't recommend putting them in without the right tools. I'm sure we have it. Okay, is it a 77 or a 78? Because they changed the carburetor in 78. Actually, that's not a stupid question at all. I know what it used to be. You don't stay at Napa long handing out the wrong answers, and I'm not planning on going anywhere.
Keep America running.
In the Stanley laboratories, we find out just how good our decorative mirror doors are by opening and closing them over 100,000 times. Funny, isn't that the same way you do it? Decorative mirror doors from Stanley.
Smelly sneakers, smelly feet. What you need is Odor Eater's Foot and Sneaker Spray, the only spray with Arm & Hammer baking soda to neutralize sweaty foot acid that causes odor. These can't. Odor Eater's Foot and Sneaker Spray.
It's back-to-back racing from New Hampshire. First, NASCAR's ground pounders battle for modified pride. Then, the Busch North boys fire it up and get nasty. The Pennzoil 150/40, Saturday, 1 p.m., noon Central on TNN Motorsports.
The news update.
Is it true that the All-Star Steakhouse uses only top-quality beef? Yes. Is it true that the steaks are cut on the premises fairly? That's true.
Is it true that the All-Star has 2 giant screen TVs and 7 27-inch TVs?
That's true, too. Do you have a kids menu?
Of course.
Do you accept credit cards?
My answer is here. Is that all?
You serve Chinese food, too.
Sorry, we don't have.
The All-Star Steakhouse. Great steak, reasonable prices.
Live, cable is your place for big stars and fast action. In the third millennium, he is judge.
Turn on your weapons and prepare to be judged.
Jury. And executioner.
What's a jury?
Judge Dredd on Showtime. Don't miss Sylvester Stallone, Armand Asante, and Rob Snyder in this high-adventure sci-fi thrill ride on cable, where the law is. On Time Warner, your cable company.
Coming up Sunday, in addition to all of our coverage of the NASCAR Winston Cup race, live from Loudon will be Race Day. Race Day's own Rick Benjamin already here in attendance, taking notes and dutifully getting ready for the show. That's coming up noontime Eastern on Sunday, and of course the PM edition of Race Day, 10 p.m. Eastern time, all here on TNN Motorsports. 16 cars still on the lead lap. Pit stops taking place for some while you were gone. Dick Trickle has been on the pit lane for service. Curtis Markham was in. Mike McLaughlin came in for service. All of that going on under the yellow as we work the fifth, make it the sixth caution of the now. Well, we're still a moment away from saying this afternoon. It's still morning. But 159 laps are complete as Randy LaJoie will have to hold off some pretty good challenges right now. See what Terry Labonte's got for him as we're a lap away from going back to green.
You know, as long as we keep getting these cautions, that keeps the field strung out. You know, for LaJoie, he doesn't have to fight much traffic. So he's pretty comfortable right now. We haven't said a whole lot about him, but I mean, what can we say? He's doing a masterful job. He dodged a great bullet over there on that wreck off of turn 2. The car's running fantastic. Crew's doing a great job.
David Green hasn't led but 8 laps today. Led the first 8 laps of the event. Randy LaJoie has led 133 of the 160.
But you know, David is just kind of, he's been right there in the top 5 just about the whole race, and driving like a man trying to win a championship.
Spoken like a true scholar.
Oh, yes.
Chad Little's back on the racetrack, folks. He is 37 laps down, but he is out there running nevertheless to pick up whatever points he can after the accident up there in the corner that put him behind the wall.
All right, is there a challenge to LaJoie here? Who's on the outside?
Well, let's see. On the restart, there's not going to be a challenge right here. Nobody's going to try and get around him. Elliott Sadler is there on the outside of the front row. Green is in the air. And there goes LaJoie.
It's going to be a pretty clean restart. Oh, wait a minute. As I say that, ooh, Joe Bessie almost got in trouble.
Tommy Houston in the top 10 now. He started all the way back in 33rd. Haven't talked about Tommy from Hickory. But he has cracked the top 10 at this point. And LaJoie is saying he's going to get gone if he can.
Yeah, he's got clear sailing. There's no traffic in front of him. He can run his line and just listen to Birdie. Give him times.
See David Green there. He's hung up with Elliott Sadler and cannot get by him. And right now it's hurting his chances of catching up to the lead car. He just got off the pace quite a bit there. You see, oh, there goes Elliott Sadler as I spoke sideways off turn 2.
What did he do, buddy?
Just got on the throttle and got sideways. Nobody touched him or anything. He just...
When you said that, I looked over there and he was coming to the infield.
163 laps going up on the board this time of 200.
You know, Terry Labonte looks like he might be a little more race-minded than he has been all day, which doesn't surprise me.
I imagine his father said, okay, son, go on up there and get that thing.
That's right. You've been running back there and all that long enough. Go on out there and get the lead. And folks, as we laugh and say that, he probably will be able to do it because he saves a little something for the end always.
Well, I'm going to tell you, catching Randy LaJoie and passing him is another thing. I think Randy LaJoie today has just run a great race. He kept himself under control. Doing a great job.
Sadler there trying to work his way around traffic. The 4 is Purvis. 75, Hebron.
Boy, Hebron is... He cut that thing right in front of Sadler. I don't know if I'd have done that or not.
That's all right in front of Jeff Green, who's running in 4th spot there, the number 3 machine.
There's some real... Bobby Labonte tried to get up alongside David Green there. I'll tell you, they're racing hard right now. They know the end is in sight.
The 1 is Hermie Sadler. Mike Wallace, the 90. That's the Duron Paint Heilig Myers entry.
You watch those Labonte boys. They just go into they change personalities when they get inside the last 25 or 30 laps.
You know, there are a lot of folks, and Darrell, I know you and I talked about it on our race talk show a couple of weeks ago from the Salute to Motorsports at Opryland. But there are a lot of folks who are saying that the 3 and the 24 in Winston Cup, Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon are going to be so concerned about one another that Terry could sneak in and grab his 2nd championship.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, he doesn't have to sneak in and do it.
That's true. He's there.
He is capable of doing it all by himself, and I believe he will. I tell you, he's got a great car this year, great team. Terry is a man on a mission. I think he would really like to win another championship.
Consistency is what works in this business.
Well, that's the thing about it, though, with Terry. He doesn't let all of the things going on around him distract him. He gets in his race car, he goes out. If he falls back to 15th, he doesn't care. He just works his way back up to the front again. And he's that way about everything. He doesn't let all the headlines and the TV interviews and everything else, they don't affect him at all.
167 laps on the board. That's the separation from the leader, Randy LaJoy, to Texas Terry, who is closing. 33 laps to go at Loudon, New Hampshire. Glad you're able to join us on this Friday morning.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Chocolate Christmas taste is gonna make your day. That's why wherever you go, hear the people say, give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Imagine your feet are under attack, not by one flesh-eating predator, but many, in a feeding frenzy. That's athlete's foot. You can't just kill some. You need a potent weapon to kill them all. Lotramin AF. Full prescription strength medicine. The brand doctors recommend more than Dezinex and Mycotin. Lotramin AF is so deadly precise, it doesn't just kill some, it kills them all. Get Lotramin AF, the killer cure, because they're always hungry.
There's no track in the world that's tougher on brakes than the one in Martinsville, Virginia. And when drivers take the green flag here, they all have one thing in common, the same brand of brakes. Because without them, you can't come down this straightaway at 120 miles an hour and still make it through the turn. So which brand do the top drivers use to get them through 500 laps at Martinsville? Performance Friction Carbon Metallic. And we stock them at AutoZone.
Peerless Faucet didn't come up with the idea for a spout long and high enough to reach over and into large objects. We merely adapted it for the kitchen. High-rise faucet designs by Peerless. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
It's back-to-back racing from New Hampshire. First, NASCAR's ground pounders battle for modified pride. Then, the Busch North boys fire it up and get nasty. The Pennzoil 150/40, Saturday, 1 p.m., noon Central on TNN Motorsports.
Don't forget, folks, it's now open. NASCAR Thunder, the official store of NASCAR, open at the Gwinnett Place Mall in Atlanta, Georgia. And it's also coming soon to two other locations, the Haynes Mall in Winston-Salem, will be opening up in the middle of August, and the Westtown Mall in Knoxville, Tennessee, coming up in late September of this year. That's NASCAR Thunder, where they have everything you'd ever want to see about the world of NASCAR.
Eli, it's a great time to be a race fan. Boy, with all the new superstores like that, it's opening up in Daytona, USA.
Got NASCAR cafes open up at Myrtle Beach and all. Lots going on. Moments ago, just before we came back from the commercial break, Todd Bodine and Mike Wallace. Watch what happens here. Not really sure what happens here.
Whoa, that's pretty easy to understand what happened there.
Yeah, I don't believe Todd hit him, though. I think Mike was trying to hold Todd off and then really just got in the...
Wait a minute. Wow.
Oh, sorry. Well, we said that might happen.
Just that little extension sticking out there on the bumper was all that was.
That's 8th and 9th place, that battle at that time between Todd and Mike Wallace.
Well, Todd, you know, is really made a great... He's had to come from the rear of the field because of that accident, and he's picking his way up through there, and that's the only horn you have on a race car.
Yeah.
Is that little nudge.
Plus, after he led us, he did 101 to 119 laps today, and from that span, the 18 laps in there, and was so very strong, it's going to be frustrating. Joe Bessie is in the 9. He has caught Mike Wallace. That's for 9th and 10th spot now, and Mike McLaughlin is right behind them. He's running in the 11th spot. There's McLaughlin, the 34.
Well, I know that Mike thought he was going to run a whole lot better than he is. I know he thought he'd be nearer the front than he is, but just doesn't look like the car's up to it today.
No, apparently not. He's been mid-pack all day, and again, as well as he has run over the years, you're right, it was an automatic assumption that he'd be a whole lot better. Matter of fact, McLaughlin and Bobby Dotter, and it used to be Jamie Olby on the list too, but Jamie's not running this race. But McLaughlin and Dotter, the only guys who have started all previous 9 Busch races on this racetrack.
Wow.
And this is only the first one that Olby is missing. So they know this track.
Boy, Mike Wallace, He's going to think everybody's against him. Joe Bessie just gave him one of those little taps, too, and got him sideways and backed everybody up in front of him.
Well, you're riding with Trickle, and you're going to be able to see what's going on all around here.
Trickle's 13th right now. That's Tommy Houston ahead of him, buddy.
Yeah, you see they're heading down the back straightaway right now.
And now McLaughlin is going to take advantage of Joe Bessie getting into turn 3.
Well, Bessie's hung out to dry there. When you get on the outside, you see Tommy Houston trying to make the move. Bessie countering by cutting down just a little bit to take that line off.
And really, all this is being caused because Mike is running well, but he's holding these guys up just a little bit, and he better watch himself a little closer.
Up front, meanwhile, folks, it's 1 2/10 seconds, the lead for LaJoy over the second-place man, Terry Labonte. One more timeout, then when we come back, we'll take you all the way to the checkered flag. We are at lap 178 of 200 here in New Hampshire.
Split it with you? If you want a sandwich with thick slices of delicious grilled Texas toast, you have two choices. A new Texas Toast Bacon Cheeseburger and a Texas Toast Breakfast Sandwich. And if you want to find them, you have only one choice. Hardee's.
Are you going to eat the pickle?
If you're trying to keep cool with Central Air over 10 years old, you must have money to blow. Thought so. Yeah. A new Luxair high-performance Central Air or heat pump system could reduce your energy cost and save you money.
Ooh, I Luxair.
Dependable, affordable comfort comes from Luxair.
Can we come inside? We're cool.
Call your Luxair dealer and catch the NASCAR 99 Luxair Chevy in all the Busch Grand National Series races.
Sir, I just need one thing.
Sorry, we're closed.
But this is Reba McEntire.
See?
Yeah, right.
Show him, Reba.
If you want chase baby, don't let me down. He said, if you want chase baby, don't let me down.
Okay. You seem like a nice girl.
Thanks.
Sure no Reba.
I know what I like. I like freedom.
New Texas Grill.
You and I have a lot in common. I look at you, I see myself.
Pay too much for auto supplies and you'll feel like one too. At Pep Boys, a Delta Diamond Truck Toolbox is $199.99. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
I'm the King Grill.
Oh, yeah?
Baby, you know who's boss. Give me a 2-inch thick T-bone with spicy, hanging, Heinz 57 steak sauce.
Yeah, you're cooking now.
Let's eat.
Think about it. We depend on our vehicles, yet most people know surprisingly little about car care. Well, get ready for Road Ready, the show that'll help you ensure your vehicle gets the kind of care and attention it needs. Join Mike Anson and Tricia Hessinger to see just how easy it is to tackle routine maintenance and small repairs. And be confident the job's done right. So get ready. Road Ready, Sunday, 12:30 p.m., 11:30 Central on TNN Motorsports.
Back with you live on TNN Motorsports. You're looking at David Green. He is the third-place runner, getting around both Doug Hevron and Bill Engel here, going into the corner. We are 17 laps from conclusion. That is Randy LaJoy, who's basically got 1 3/10 seconds of an advantage on Terry Labonte. It narrows a bit, it widens a bit, but it's for all intents and purposes staying. I guess the quickest guy is Todd probably right now.
Yeah, he's really making a lot of, he's really closing in on the cars that he's racing with, but I don't think he's going to have time to do much about it.
Eli, that's amazing, though, that he's able to take that car with the back of the car bent up like it is and run through traffic like he is. A very strong car before he wrecked it, but it's still good.
Yeah, it is. It's running really well.
That's first and second. You're seeing second place Terry Labonte.
I think another car that's running pretty well, too, is Jeff Green.
Yes, he is.
We haven't said a whole lot about him, but, he's had a pretty decent run. He's running in fourth place right now, and really, I thought he was going to close down on his brother there a little bit ago, but his brother got through traffic better than he did.
Jeff Green, as we mentioned earlier, with 8 top 10 finishes in the last 9 races. There again, the differential from first to second. We'll get our stopwatches going up here in the booth for you. It was 1 3/10. This time exactly a second between the two.
And see, Eli, right now we got 15 laps to go, and a lot of people wonder, well, what's going on in a driver's mind? Right now, one guy said, boy, I'd like to be in the top 5. So if I can pass this guy, I'll be in the top 5. The other guy back in there is running 12th maybe or 11th. I'd like to get in the top 10. So everybody's got a little something going on, and that's why they're pushing hard like they do.
And that's 6th place on your screen. Hermie Sadler in 6th, Todd Bodine in 7th. Kevin LePage behind them is not on the lead lap, the 88 machine.
And LaJoy, he's just out there. He's got no traffic to deal with, and Terry is, you know, he can keep him at bay. Got it pretty much made right now.
A lot of folks instinctively think that the 88 there, LePage, because he's from Shelburne, Vermont, they figure he's run well here a lot. He's only been here twice, so don't take geography for granted there. There's Trickle in the 64. 55 is Goddard at his 12th and 13th spot. Joe Bessie, the 9, is in 14th, and they are all on the lead lap.
Well, Goddard's very good. You can see just inches apart as they head down the back straightaway here. Goddard's very, very good at Milwaukee, and this racetrack has a lot of tendencies in the corner to be just like Milwaukee. You can see Goddard is really good in the corners. You see him move up, back off a little bit. He's got a car right under him there. Joe Bessie, though, is giving him all he wants right now.
Yeah, Joe Bessie.
Yeah,
that's Joe Bessie got down on the apron, and actually, I don't know how he made it through there, to tell you the truth. Of course, they didn't make it through without contact, but
no.
Joe Bessie really got down on the apron and got under Dotter, and there was nowhere for Dotter to go. He had to give up to get some room up to Bessie.
Meanwhile, it will be 10 laps to go for the leader the next time he comes by.
And the tough thing for like a Dotter, he's on a limit. You know, he's out of money. He's only got probably that one car, and he really can't take a chance for that position no more than it would take.
6th place has Hermie Sadler still battling with Todd Bodine. There they are.
See Todd much quicker getting in the corner, but he's just looking for any way to get by him. Hermie's just running a good line right now, cutting off every angle that he could get to get by him.
See, Todd's car is tight, so he can get into the corner better, but he cannot get off the corner, and you need to be able to get that nose up under Hermie to pass it. Or get it up in his back.
Inside of 10 laps to go. Randy LaJoy, the leader, led from lap 9 through 100. Led lap 120 through 124. And then took the lead again at 126 and has held it to this point. That's 6th place. We're still watching.
You know, Jason Keller's had a good run today.
He's an 8.
Stayed out of trouble. Going to give him a top 10 finish.
Kenny Wallace retiring his car moments ago. Engine failure. Greg Clark, engine failure. He's done for the day.
Boy, I say one thing for Kenny and them. They tried all day. They've had the hood up on that thing all day long. And he'd get back out there and run a while, but again, finally gave up.
Yeah, they finally parked it here. We're inside of, as you can see, only 9 laps to go. Take a look again at what happened on that Joe Bessie ride with Bob Dotter. We're looking back from Trickle. Wow.
Well, they got together right there, and I'm not sure.
At about 155 or so.
Yeah, and they're off of that corner. That could have been really disastrous for both drivers.
He's not there.
I think Dotter was frustrated with Bessie because he got down under him really off of the racing groove and slid up there and took him out of his line.
Everything stabilizing on the racetrack right now.
You know, Darrell, every once in a while you see something on the racetrack, you just know something's going to happen. I'm watching Hermie Sadler and Todd Bodine. Sooner or later, somebody's going to get more aggressive here. He's run him down 2 or 3 times, got inches away from his back bumper. You can see right there, he's a little bit quicker, but he just can't get the angle, and he's going to run out of patience here before too long, I think.
Yeah, Hermie's a little quicker down the straightaway, and that's probably from the wreck that Todd had earlier. His car's not as aerodynamically slick as it was. The only race I see going on right now, and that's a good one right there, is also that David Green is chasing, Jeff Green's chasing down David Green. That's about all the racing we got going on right now, other than these 2 cats right here.
Yeah, the lead is a 1.5 seconds for LaJoy over Terry Labonte. It is not wavering at all. We'll just stay right here and keep our eyes on this battle. The
If his foot slips off that accelerator, I know what'll happen. Wow.
Well, Hermie's driving hard to have a good finish. Todd's driving hard to try to recover from a bad day. So Todd's sitting there knowing 2 weeks in a row I've had a car capable of winning. And here I am running in 7th place.
Daryl, about 5 races ago, they got everything together. Eli, you know this. They turned everything around. All of a sudden, this 81 car, everywhere they've been, it's just been great. But they have been plagued many times by misfortune, just like today.
What I liked was his attitude. He was 300 and some points out of the championship battle and really not in the fight at all. And I heard an interview he did. He said, hey, those guys stumped their toes. Our car's good enough. We'll be back in the thick of this thing. And he's exactly right.
Meanwhile, LaJoie is pulling away even further now from Bobby Labonte at the front. It's up to 1 7/10 of a second the last time by, as we still ride with the 6th and 7th place battle. LaJoie is dealing with no traffic, just wide open racetrack, so you're not missing anything up front. We're just keeping our eyes here on what could be a heck of a battle for a spot down the stretch. There's Randy LaJoie.
Eli, now last week you watched Dick Trickle start backing off just a little bit because he had a substantial lead. I think Randy LaJoie is showing you one thing right now. When you have that rhythm, you don't want to break it. Right now,
circumstances somewhat different, though.
Oh, yeah, quite a bit, quite a bit.
A little bit different racetrack.
But right now, Randy LaJoie, if he was to back off, he would probably get a handling difficulty with that car that he wouldn't have if he keeps running like he's going right now.
Yeah, really, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are probably tightening up as much as anything. But LaJoie, he is 2 laps away from
third victory.
Yeah, do you realize it'll be his 3rd in the last 8 races? I mean, think about it. After the first of the season wasn't all that strong and the white flag is out, he wins Nazareth. A couple of weeks later wins Dover. Now here, 3 wins in the last 8 stops on the circuit.
This racetrack and Nazareth have some characteristics that are the same, and certainly Dover is totally different than anything else. So they're very very versatile race team right now.
This will be the 12th win for Chevrolet in 1996. And for LaJoie in his 4th visit to this racetrack, his first top 10, and it is a win. Randy LaJoie.
Boy, Tommy Houston just come off the pace down the back straightaway after having a pretty good run today.
That's a heartbreaker. Randy LaJoie wins, and you've got Hermie Sadler holding off Todd Bodine for 6th and 7th. And Steve Bird and the boys do the job. And there's Tommy Houston. We just talked about him seconds ago, and there he is coasting on around to the finish. There's our winner. As soon as we come back, we'll be heading to victory lane. So stick around. More on TNN Motorsports.
A car engine has as little as 1/1000th of an inch of motor oil protecting its parts. But friction and heat can make motor oil become volatile and vaporize, weakening its ability to protect vital parts. Texaco Haviland Formula 3 is formulated to control volatility, fight vaporization, and provide complete engine protection, no matter what you drive.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
One of these hammers is jacketed in high-impact polycarbonate. The other one is broken. The fiberglass jacketed hammer from Stanley.
When asked, 9 out of 10 people say they'd rather be on vacation than at home.
Come on.
Bored.
You have to play.
I have to practice. Mom, she's a train professional. Do not throw the duck.
Of course, most of the people they asked didn't own a John Deere, because in survey after survey, folks are more satisfied with John Deere than other lawn tractors.
Honey, it's green.
It sure is.
Anything?
Nothing runs like a Deere.
Leave it to Peerless Faucet to create a shower so smart, it can not only sense when a toilet has been flushed, it can also adjust the water temperature accordingly. Scald Guard technology by Peerless. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
To get the most out of this Indy car, Patrick Racing put Scott Pruitt behind the wheel. They built a team that could get it in and out of the pits in the blink of an eye. And they chose a battery they can depend on to get it started. The Duralast battery from AutoZone. The same Duralast you can depend on to start your car. So don't settle for anything less. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
Today's exclusive coverage of the Stanley 200 on TNN has been brought to you by Texaco Clean System 3 gasolines. Add more life to your car. Take it to the star. By John Deere, makers of quality lawn and grounds care equipment. Nothing runs like a Deere. And by Stanley. Since 1843, Stanley has been helping people do things right.
29 cars were running when it was all over, but that man was running the best of them all. Domination, Randy LaJoie led 173 of the 200 laps today. Let's head on down to Victory Lane and get his thoughts.
Well, as you guys said, his third victory of the year, all of them on one-mile speedways, but what a homecoming to New England. Congratulations, Randy.
Thanks a lot. New Hampshire about started our streak. We had a good month of May, and this is a makeup for May, so maybe this will be a good month for July. I'm going to dedicate this to my parents. It's their 38th wedding anniversary, and I learned a lot from them, and I want to thank them. They did a hell of a job with me, and hopefully I could do as good with my kids as they did with me.
Well, now, I'm not sure they did that good. No, you did a great job. Great race today. Sometimes, though, it's really tough. He's getting congratulations from crew chief Steve Bird. When you got a car so perfect, so dominant, you can really get a little careless if you're not careful.
Well, the racetrack is a whole lot better than it was last week. You know, there was 2 grooves out there. I mean, if we slipped up a little bit, we could pull it back down. But boy, what a race car! I mean, Mike Laughlin builds a great chassis. Base Motorsports team and Birdie put together a race car. K-Tech gave us an engine. Fina gave us the money to race on. You know, and everybody was worried yesterday about these Goodyear tires blistering. But the first run we went 100 laps on them, and we didn't have no trouble. So I mean, like I said, it was a perfect race car. And when you got a good race car like this, you need to take advantage of it, and we did today.
He absolutely did that. Randy LaJoie continues to close ground on David Green in that points chase.
And I'll tell you, the point chase is a big one, but that's how the overall results look for this morning and afternoon's activities. Todd Bodine will move up to third in the points. He was in third position, now just 325 behind the lead. Tommy Houston all the way back in 16th. The drive shaft came out of the car there at the finish. There you see where other top drivers went. Kenny Wallace with the engine problems, his Ford back in 22nd position and on the way down the field. The point lead atop the standings, by the way. David Green, of course, still leads. He's got a 75-point advantage now on Randy LaJoie. There you see Phil Parsons first in the garage area today, and he's done, comes home in last spot. Coming up tomorrow, lots more racing here on TNN. Will be on the air at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. The NASCAR Busch North Series, the Pennzoil 150, followed on the same show by the NASCAR Featherlight Modified Tour and the Pennzoil 40. The NASCAR Winston Cup teams going at 1 o'clock Eastern Time Sunday with the Jiffy Lube 300. Darrell Waltrip, good luck to you, sir, in the Western Auto Machine.
Thank you very much, Eli. And I just want to say, Randy LaJoie, you know, I watched him race at Dover, and he pulled that win off there. He stuck that thing down the inside underneath Ricky Cravens and won that race today. He had a dominant car, and he did a great job. This is a driver that's really come into his own this year.
Randy LaJoie is a good one. Buddy Baker will talk to you throughout this weekend.
Good enough. I tell you what, let's mention the crew chief, Birdie. That's one of the things that makes that car what it is.
The man's got more championships than you can shake a stick at. So, again, it is all over for the Busch Series here today. Randy LaJoie in victory lane. David Green's point lead now just 75 over LaJoie. We'll see you tomorrow, the NASCAR Busch Series in action. For Darrell Waltrip, Buddy Baker, Glenn Jarrett, and Randy Pemberton, I'm Eli Gold. Thanks for joining us. So long from New Hampshire.